Hello, good morning and welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM hits 103.9 FM in Accra, on Love 99.5 in Kumasi and myjoyonline.com. We're also live in all 16 regions of Ghana on X Spaces and on Facebook. Coming up, Parliament Appointment Committee comes under fire as they're accused of reducing vetting of ministerial nominees to a mere formality.
Watching the proceedings, you see how the questions and the responses that come, we are not as diligent as one would have expected.
Meanwhile, the former chair of the committee, Joseph Osei-Wusu, has ruled out influence peddling and bribery after receiving cash from the chief of staff in his time.
Most of the time, at the close of our work, the chief of staff will bring money to the members of the committee.
It's not bribery? It's not influence peddling?
After the work. How can it be influence peddling?
Also, Speaker of Parliament to investigate case of alleged verbal assault on a sworn MP today as minority pushes for stiff punishment against acting CEO of the Petroleum Commission.
To the complainant and the suspect, and I will go into the matter, take the appropriate action and report back to the House.
In business,
Bank of Ghana's gold holdings increases significantly, more than 30 funds, signaling strong reserve build up to support the cedi.
And also no end in sight for hundreds of students whose WASSCE results have been withheld on suspicion of exam malpractice, as WASSCE says it cannot determine when it will be released.
As I said right now, I cannot tell you it's going to be tomorrow. If they cooperate with our people in the field, then decisions can be taken as early as possible.
These are more with me, Mami Sinyamiche Thompson. Please stay. The Appointments Committee of Parliament has come under public backlash for reducing the vetting of ministerial nominees to a mere formality. A former member of Parliament, Andy Apiakubi, is the latest to lash out at the committee to scrutinize the competence of nominees. We'll hear from him shortly, but first, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin says the committee failed to deliver on its core mandate.
We have crafted rules of how Appointments Committee should conduct the business of public hearing of nominees of the President. I'm not too sure there's reference to those rules in what I am witnessing myself. And I've received so many complaints.
Well, we can now hear from former Asante Achim North MP Andy Apiakubi saying the committee has not been diligent in its work.
I don't think that we have taken it as seriously as one would have expected. Because when you are watching the proceedings, you see how the questions and the responses that come, we are not as diligent as one would have expected. Probing the candidate for answers and indeed demonstrating the understanding of the expectations of the office and also bringing out issues about how competent the person is. It's important. The members of Parliament have a responsibility to also show the public that indeed we are answering biting questions that will expose or confirm the competencies of the candidates.
While also reacting to allegations of bribery against the appointment committee is a former chair and first deputy speaker in the 8th Parliament, Joseph Osei-Wusu. On PM Express last night, he admitted that in his time, the chief of staff brought money to the committee members after their work. He insisted that didn't influence their work in any way.
When I joined the Appointments Committee, most of the time at the close of our work, the chief of staff will bring money to the members of the committee. It's like facilitating our work. I wonder how anybody could link that to bribery.
It's not bribery? It's not influence peddling?
After the work. How can it be influence peddling? It does not give advantage to anybody or gives disadvantage to anybody. So it's a pity how we can stretch facts and give information or explanations or interpretations that have nothing to do with the reading.
Joseph was then an interview with Blessed Sugar on PM Express last night, but former Auditor General Daniel Domlevo disagrees.
It sounds very unfortunate for me to hear from my colleague Joe Wise that Chief of Staff used to bring them money after their work. Doesn't mean Parliament, the budget of the Chief of Staff covers Parliament. Are they not allocated their own budget? I think that is not a good practice. If it happened, I think it has to stop. If we know that after doing this work, we will be remunerated, it influences the work that we are doing. So there is influence peddling there, if it is true.
While still in Parliament, Speaker Alban Bagbin is expected to hear a case of alleged verbal assault today as the minority pushes for stiff punishment against the acting CEO of the Petroleum Commission, Victoria Fahad Castle. The minority insists calling Minority Chief Whip Frank Anadompre silly during a heated exchange is an attack on Parliament's authority. Here are excerpts of a statement from the minority.
Well, in a two-page statement from the minority side, it reads that her behavior on Tuesday represents one of the most flagrant attacks on parliamentary dignity in recent memory and demands an appropriately stern response from the House. Now, it continues, says that such conduct strikes at the very foundation of our democracy and must be met with the full force of parliamentary sanctions. The minority say they expect that the appropriate sanctions under the standing orders, including fines, imprisonment, restriction from parliamentary presence, and mandatory public apology will be applied with appropriate severity to reflect the gravity of this offense.
Well, Speaker Alban Bagbin will hear both sides today and is set to deliver his judgment on Friday.
I've heard the complaint. I've listened to the comments of members. I will proceed to invite the lady concerned and to personally go into the matter. I will take up this matter myself. I will grant opportunity to the complainant and the suspect, and I will go into the matter, take the appropriate action, and report back to the House.
WASSCE says it cannot determine when the 2024 WASSCE results of hundreds of Ashanti region candidates will be released, citing ongoing investigations into exam malpractices. The delay has sparked concern among students and parents, and some parents stormed the regional WAEC office in Kumasi yesterday, demanding answers from WAEC. Head of Public Relations Unit, John Capis tells Joy News a release date will be announced soon.
The investigations, what we've done has been, this is a process. Let me just go through it step by step. The examiners would have marked and told us that no, we suspect that something has gone wrong. Now, we don't take that wholesale. We also go and do our internal investigations. But even before we do our internal investigations, we inform the Ghana Exams Committee, which is the relevant committee in charge of our examinations of the council. They come from all manner of people across academia.
When should they expect the release of the awards WASSCE results? When?
As I said right now, I cannot tell you it's going to be tomorrow. If they cooperate with our people in the field, then decisions can be taken as early as possible.
Well, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana has called on government to prioritize the construction of the Pwalugu multipurpose dam. This comes on the back of Agric Minister's announcement to terminate the existing contract. We'll hear from the farmers shortly, but first here's government position captured in the following report by James Aveji.
Government in 2019 initiated a $993 million contract to build the Pwalugu multipurpose dam with special features to generate power, but most importantly absorb spilled water from Bribery Dam to address the perennial flooding up north and also boost irrigation. The Agric Minister Rico Poko says after $12 million expenditure with no work done, the contract will be terminated.
What we will do is to terminate that contract immediately. We'll terminate the Pwalugu contract, look for a contractor, look for funding, and then immediately ensure the execution of the project.
But what about possible judgment debt which may result from the termination?
Before we terminate, it will not be done here. We'll refer to the Attorney General's Department for his advice before the contract is terminated.
For Joy News, I am James Aveji.
Well, Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association, Bismarck Owusu-Norte, says government has to prioritize the contract.
For us as peasant farmers, our major call has been how government should be able to prioritize the construction of the dam. So for us, any intervention by this current government, we are in support of any kind of intervention, whether it's abrogation of contracts or awarding new contracts, that will see the expedite construction of the dam for the benefit of the farmers. So that's all what you ask for.
And just before we head out, the Alwyn Traditional Council in the Western Region is calling on government, Forestry Commission and other groups to help halt the destruction of forest reserves in the Alwyn municipality. The call comes in the wake of fresh invasion of the Tano Anria, Tano Nimri and Yonyo forest reserves by illegal miners. Erastus Asari Donko has that report. We'll bring you that in subsequent bulletin. That's how we end this morning's bulletin on Joy 99.7 FM. Up next is business on the Super Morning Show.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gugomi, now what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same right. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make I feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Joe Pana. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Are you a female entrepreneur, young business owner, agribusiness, fintech, or agri-tech venture? This one's for you. We see your need for funding for your business, and we believe that your story matters. So in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, ABSA is offering you collateral-free loans of up to 1 million Ghana cedis at 10% interest rate per annum. We've already pumped over 1.3 billion cedis into over 6,000 businesses. Yours is next. Visit our SME project office, your nearest ABSA branch, or head to absa.com.gh. Your story matters. ABSA.
How secured are you? Let me ask you again. How secured are you? Say yes loud with confidence when you are protected by Millennium Insurance, because it gives you great reliability and comfort. Sign on any of our products today, be it motor, fire, burglary, accidents, travels, bonds, liabilities, engineering, marine and aviation insurance. Visit our offices in Accra, Northridge, Tema, Kumasi, Kofridia, Takrady, or any of our 30 agents nationwide. Call 0302-766-631 or 0504-394-997.
Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
Let me share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resorts. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castanet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, while you pet and feed them. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Reliable, check. Comfort, check. Strong, check. Tough, check. Tried and tested, check. Affordable, check. Comes in so many colors and sizes, check. Suitable for domestic and industrial use, check. Choose quality, choose Syntex Tank. Available nationwide and comes with 7-year warranty. And remember, Syntex Tank is a caring brand too. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough.
Afei, dear Chatwo, esan say ye busu ya no ye sonkonti no. Ye kan say ye pe Pepsodent a ye din wo so aka niam ne ho.
Hey, wo hu, we ko hehia wo, no he wole, wo hwe, nana no ne, wo keba.
Hey, eyampo, omudinda so. Inga me na ye, ehfa na yesi benya ye de.
Won so betumi de udinga to Pepsodent Abusia Park no so. Bo we busia se ho ban mo ho du. Fa we ni kire so to e ban wo na kopto wo Pepsodent Abusia Park. FDA chedi nkrato yatomu.
What are you paying for? A delicious meal at the restaurant? Do it with SG Ghana Visa Card. Buying fuel for your car? Do it with SG Ghana Visa Card. Shopping online or at the mall or your favorite supermarket? Do it with SG Ghana Visa Card. When you need to pay, do it with SG Ghana Visa Card. With a large network of merchants and payment points, the SG Ghana Visa Card is your secure and convenient way to get things done in Ghana. You can also use the SG Ghana Visa Card for secure online purchases. Make your life easy and use your SG Ghana Visa Card today. To find out more, call 0302 214 314. That's 0302 214 314. Société Générale Ghana. The future is you.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
Yes, it is. The 6 a.m. news was brought to you by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, your story matters, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. We're bringing you the Joy Business Report. Next is brought to us by Omnibusik Bank, not just another bank, and Safari Valley Resort, bringing you closer to nature. James Eshen is here with business.
Hi, Mama V.
You know today's 30th, right? Exactly. So finally, the long January is over.
We've waited for almost 72 days in January.
Hopefully, we're not using the salary to offset.
Exactly.
That it will balance.
Exactly.
May your January balance in Jesus' name.
Amen.
All right, James has the business report coming up here on the Super Morning Show.
Good morning, welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up in this bulletin, Bank of Ghana's gold holdings increases significantly more than 30 tons, signaling strong reserve build-up to support the cedi, and some currency analysts hopeful cedi will regain strength after government fully settles in office, sending a clear signal to the market. Also in this bulletin, Institute of Customer Service Professionals advocates the establishment of customer service regulatory as Ghana Customer Satisfaction Index drops to 72%. Stay tuned. My name is James Eshen. Let's settle for the details now. First off, total amount of gold that the Bank of Ghana is holding as reserves build up has increased significantly. George Wiafe has the rest of the story.
Fresh data released by the Bank of Ghana showed that these holdings increased from 19.5 tons to 30.5 tons ending December 2024. One program that has played a significant role in this build-up is the Bank of Ghana's Gold Purchase Program, an initiative that has seen the central bank buy more gold with the local currency to build up its reserves, now running into billions of dollars. This has been a mix of dollar cash and gold. For some market watchers, the development could send signals that the Bank of Ghana is now in a strong position to support the Ghana cedi, as well as meet its debt obligations on behalf of government. The latest economic and financial data released by the Bank of Ghana puts the country's international reserves at $8.9 billion, ending December last year, representing 4 months of import cover.
And that was George Uriafe there with the report. Meanwhile, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, in an earlier interview with Joy Business, indicated that the gold purchase program had played a significant role in stabilizing the cedi over the past month.
This year alone, we've been able to buy gold of over $5 billion using our local currency. Now, we were very much focused on building reserves in the first part of the year. In this second part of the year, as I said, we found a way of getting the commercial banks to submit their currency, the local currency, to the central bank, which the central bank used to buy gold, and then transferred the proceeds from that to the commercial bank. So that helped because you were able to lift the demand that was coming from the commercial banks completely off the market through the domestic gold purchasing program. all of this, it's a gold story. I think the question is, does Ghana produce so much gold? We didn't realize that we could buy almost $5 billion of gold 3-4 years ago when we didn't have this program.
Dr. Ernest Addison is the governor of the Bank of Ghana, now still on the city. Currency analyst Courage Boti is of the view that the interventions put by the Bank of Ghana will help the cedi regain its strength in the medium term. The cedi has lost 2.4% in value to the US dollar in the first month of 2025. This is compared to the depreciation of 1.3% during the same period last year. Reacting to the development, Mr. Boti said the situation could also normalize after the new government fully settled in.
I don't think there is room for any cause for concern or panic necessarily. There will be movements and there will be up-down movements. It is when government is fully formed and we know what they are positioning on some of these things, what interventions are coming, then we can tell what our look is, and then we can be able to predict what it will impact businesses. But at this moment, 2.5 or so percent depreciation year to date, it sounds like a lot. If you analyze it, you should be getting to 20 plus, but it's start of the year. The seasonal pressures are there. Let's see what end of quarter one brings, what the policy interventions are. Then we can talk properly about the part of cedi performance.
Courage Boti is an economist. Now to some other stories. The former Minister of Finance, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, is challenging claims of leaving behind a terrible economy saddled with huge debt and arrears. This follows claims by the current administration that it could struggle in implementing some of its programs. But Dr. Amin Adam is challenging this. He has been speaking on PM Express Business Edition, which airs tonight on Joy News at 9 p.m.
And even after doing a debt restructuring, where countries that have done restructuring will record negative growth, we were recording an average of about 6.4% last year. It just shows that the economy was turning to positive levels, which, when sustained, could really reduce the suffering and the economic hardship faced by the people. And it is why I expect the new government to sustain the gains that we have made. Because when you sustain those gains, it will translate into tangible benefits for the people. But if you come in to do politics as usual, you lose the point.
Dr. Amin Adam, as former Minister of Finance, he is on PM Express Business Edition tonight at 9 p.m. Now, let's do some other stories. As government borrowing from the local markets is expected to reduce significantly in the coming days following the $2.8 billion saved in a memorandum of understanding with Ghana's Official Creditor Committee. Government announced that the agreement reached with Official Creditor Committee brings a debt relief to the country. Reacting to the development, economist Professor Lord Mains said the agreement will help reduce the country's budget deficit.
When it comes to filling, more or less the government needs of funds, and by so doing, it will reduce, government borrowing from the local market, and businesses will have, access to funds. Going forward, let me, emphasize on that. So it's a good signal. Let me put it. Government is going to have a breathing space, to divert, funds into productive sectors of the economy. It gives the government some kind of free space in terms of financial needs, and as a result of that, government can reduce its financial needs by reading a budget with a reduced budget deficit, which will build up into, interest rate structures and all those. So government will reduce its borrowing on a local market, and that will help us, rebuild or correct the yield curve. And if I say correction of the yield curve, what I mean is that, interest rate structures that has been short-term, oriented, can now be moved to medium term.
You heard economist Professor Lord Mains. And now to one of our headline stories. The founder of the Institute of Customer Service Professionals, Yvonne Ohuyi McCarthy, is calling for the establishment of a customer service regulatory body to prioritize customer service delivery in the country. Addressing the media at the launch of the 2025 Customer Service Index report, which revealed that Ghana's Customer Satisfaction Index dropped from 73.9% to 72% in 2024, she explained that the initiative will be key in making Ghana a preferred tourism destination in Africa.
We need to have a more nationalistic view when it comes to customer service. We need to start looking at it as a national project. So having a regulator would have been an amazing thing. We don't have that now. What we can do is that different regulators can start looking at the portions where they address customer service and tighten it up. Make sure that they're really implementing all the policies they've put in place. Beyond that, every organization has to make sure they're employing the right people, training them well, they have the right processes and procedures, and they are also making data-driven decisions. So employing the right people would also mean that you have people who have the right service mindset.
Yvonne Ohui McCarthy as the founder of the Institute of Customer Service Professional. Next, the Africa Sustainable Commodities Initiative has been honored with the prestigious Schwab Foundation Award for 2025, recognizing its impactful work in driving systematic change. The award, presented at the World Economic Forum in Davos, celebrates 18 social entrepreneurs and innovators from 15 organizations from across 13 countries for initiatives ranging from nature conservation to improving livelihoods and transformation healthcare and education. ProForest Africa and Global Director Abraham Bafo accepted a Collective Social Innovators Award on behalf of the Africa Sustainable Commodities Initiative.
It gives me great pleasure to invite our first awardee up to the stage, Abraham Bafo, awardee in the Collective Social Innovator category and technical lead at Africa Sustainable Commodities Initiative, Ghana. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Agriculture is a major economic driver.
All right, now let's move straight to Investor Eye for today as we continue our series on unstructured supplementary service data prompt, popularly known as USSD code. Iwanamwa Mensa tells us why you should cross-check the source of every USSD code you dial. Take a listen.
So with USSD, they're simple. Usually you're just making 2 or 3 step payment process, or if it's a financial product, you are using it to either buy an investment, deposit money in savings. It's inherently safe. What tends to be the challenge is if someone claims he's helping you to do something on that, that's where the fraud can occur. So yes, I know of situations where people have been called and asked to go through a USSD application to commit a transaction, and that transaction is really just transferring money to them or to one of their partners. So it's important that you know how the application works, and again, the documentation, the information about this exists, right? And first of all, it must be an application that is provided by a licensed entity. If it's a bank, all banks are licensed, right? There's no bank that can provide this service without it. If it's a PSP, payment service provider, what we typically call fintech, they are not that recognized, so you need to be able to know who they are.
That was Ebo Anamwame, the Chief Technical Officer at IT Consortium. Now let's move straight to some commodities as crude oil dropped further to $76 a barrel and gold increased marginally to $2,760 an ounce. Cocoa been trading at $11,543 a ton after gaining more than $300. Now to some currency news, the dollar is going for 16 cedis 30 pesos. That is the rate some forex bureaus are offering to their client. The British pound is going for 19 cedis 55 pesos. The euro is also going for 16 cedis 52 pesos. The commercial banks, on the other hand, are selling a dollar at 15 cedis 28 pesos. And that's all for the Joyce Business Report. I am James Ishen. Over to you, Mama V.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing that I understand the dollar is a bit stable now.
Yeah,
hopefully it doesn't go up.
Yeah, because of Bank of Ghana actually injected some $300 million. Yeah, so the market is a bit stable.
All right, let it stay that way and even go down. Well, it's 28 minutes after 6. Thank you, James, for the business report. Up next, we'll bring you the news review. But before that, we've got some inspiration for you. Enjoy it. We'll bring you the news review shortly. praise. We're giving him what is due him this morning. It's Lala praise, city praise with Lala dance on the Super Morning Show. That's your inspiration this morning. I hope it made you dance a little bit. If you're in traffic on your way to work, well, thank you for choosing us. This is the Super Morning Show. Let me say good morning to you, George and Fentio.
Hi.
Since
And,
Raymond and Winston and Kojo obviously abandoned
I was
me.
trying to find out whether we can ask Fentio what he understands by Lala.
Lala.
They have officially been replaced, those two.
No, the bit about the Lala. Yeah, your understanding of Lala.
Well, you don't speak Ga? You do not understand?
Not a word of Ga.
Oh,
And
wow. So you don't know Lala?
You are living in Gashipo, Gamanoni.
Is it Lala Anthony?
Oh my God.
No, sorry. What do you mean?
You said Lala. I said
only
Lala.
The meaning of Lala.
The only Lala I know is Lala Anthony.
Oh my
I
God.
thought you were going to say La La Land.
Yeah. That movie.
There is that one. That's a movie, right?
Yeah.
So that I know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that song.
What does it mean in
It's a
Lala?
song. Lala.
No, Ga is a stress language. So you say the Lala wrong, it could mean something different, right? That much I know about the language. That the stress is important.
I get him. La can also be blood, right? Or yeah. So look at blood and then song. Maybe the spelling might differentiate, or the stress, or those who look at the phonetics and all those things in language and all the rest could also help you.
But you know, you cannot live
Connotation
and work in this
connotation
land
without,
and not understand Ga.
You are on.
You see, Ghana and Accra, you see, we are a very heterogeneous community, okay? You're not required to understand all the language. We have over 50 languages.
It is not a requirement for you.
I understand 7. Forgive me. And tell me that's not impressive enough.
It is.
Thank you.
It is, but I'm saying that
so
you
I'm
live
learning
here.
the Ga.
Okay, all right. We'll get there. Let's get into the review.
It takes time.
The news,
especially at this age.
We hear you. The newspaper review is brought to you by Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough, and Access Bank, more than banking. But before we get into the hardcore newspapers, let's take you back to Parliament, because the Appointments Committee in particular has been trending since Oliver Barker-Vormawor was appearance. So here's a former member of Parliament.
So remember that the Drive Safe campaign is brought to you by Joy News and the Multimedia Group, supported by Toyota Superior Quality and Imperial General Insurance, solid protection, avoid all distractions, keep both eyes on the road and hands on steering wheel, be visible, drive with your lights on, and that's how you ensure safety. Mama V, today I want us to talk about the fact that you have to put on your seatbelt. Now, always wear your seatbelt and make sure that all the passengers do. Did you do that this morning? And also avoid all distractions. Put your phone away or turn it off.
Yeah. Even if you're sitting in the back seat, you know, we tend to overlook that
Only
and
the
say
driver.
that, it's only those who are in front who have to put on their seatbelts. Yeah, but even if you're in the back. So all the kids right now sitting in the back seats, please make sure you have your seatbelt on.
And also put away your phone or turn it off.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
It is. Very useful one.
All right, let's learn how to say it right.
And that is brought to you by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are hallmarks, and Societe Generale Bank Ghana. The future is you.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
Because a certain word has been trending a lot, we will take you to Parliament, but that word has been very
mispronounced.
Okay, well, so Fentio is doing Say It Right this morning, and you want to highlight on this particular word.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
And that is committee.
Okay.
You know, we all say, everybody says committee.
Please spell it.
Vetting committee is COMMITTEE.
Okay.
The right pronunciation is committee.
Committee.
Okay.
And
that's not committee.
Another committee.
Not committee. Not vetting committee.
Another
the vetting committee.
The
vetting committee. Aye.
Committee.
Konumti. It's committee. I think that the stress is on the first syllable. Committee.
So I said
or the second syllable. Committee.
It has to be committee.
Ghanaians, we put the stress in the last syllable. Committee.
Okay.
Vetting committee.
So finally,
it's a
the
vetting
word
committee.
Is committee.
Committee.
All right. That's how to say it right.
Committee. Yeah.
All right, so now that we know how to say it right, let's get into the papers. And then, of course, I wanted us to take a listen to a few sounds before we come, because following Oliver Barker-Vormer's appearance, the issue of bribery has even come up stronger with some sort of backlash. First of all, let's listen to former Member of Parliament, Andy Apiakubi.
I don't think that we have taken it as seriously as one would have expected. Because when you are watching the proceedings, you see how the questions and the responses that come, we are not as diligent as one would have expected, probing the candidate for answers and indeed demonstrating the understanding of the expectations of the office, and also bringing out issues about how competent the person is. It's important. The members of parliament have a responsibility to also show the public that indeed we are answering biting questions that will expose or confirm the competencies of the candidates.
When I joined the appointments committee, most of the time at the close of our work, the chief of staff will bring money to the members of the committee. It's like facilitating our work. I wonder how anybody could link that to bribery.
It's not bribery? It's not influence peddling?
After the work, how can it be influence peddling? It does not give advantage to anybody or gives disadvantage to anybody. So it's a pity how we can stretch facts and give information or explanations or interpretations that have nothing to do with the reading.
It sounds very unfortunate for me to hear from my colleague Joe White that chief of staff used to bring them money after their work. Doesn't mean parliament, the budget of the chief of staff covers parliament. Are they not allocated their own budget? I think that is not a good practice. If it happened, I think it has to stop. If we know that after doing this work, we will be remunerated, it influences the work that we are doing. So there's influence peddling there, if it is true.
The last voice you heard there, Daniel Domolovo, former auditor, making a comment, flowing from what former Member of Parliament and former First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei-Wusu, disclosed there, revealing that, well, during his time, because he used to chair this committee, the chief of staff would bring money to them after sitting. And so that's a bit shocking, actually, to facilitate their work. And I wonder how chief of staff's money would facilitate the work of parliamentarians. And this is a committee vetting the president's nominees. So what is it exactly supposed to facilitate? I've been thinking a bit.
I mean, it's interesting, but again, the argument is that I don't know what the anti-corruption people will say about whether this has a tendency to influence their work, because
that's what Daniel Domolovo clearly says,
and says that if it's coming after what they've done. And for me, that's where the challenge is for me personally, that yes, or what should be the principle on moral grounds because of what we are doing. We don't care. Even if it's about supplying us with drinks or food after this thing. And we will see that as an attempt to, then we should be moderate with our verdict or our report. So for me, there's a thin line between the moral issue here and whether indeed, it's nothing. It's something that is done, to facilitate your work. You sat late, you bend your back. So,
but there are lots of committees in Parliament.
And have you been able to establish whether also nothing happens when they sit as well?
No, I'm looking at this issue because now Joseph Osei himself is saying that the chief of staff would bring them money to facilitate their work. So I'm asking myself that there
what he tried to
other
do
committees
also
in Parliament.
do
they do the same?
We can't independently establish, but maybe there could be some level of facilitation for others as well when they sit.
From the presidency?
I cannot say that.
Wow.
I mean, for me, my thoughts on this is that that money that is being sent to these committee members, where is it from? It's from the taxpayer. Is that budgeted for? In what budget can you find that money? So we have a situation where payments are being made, or now allegations of payments are being made from a certain office that is funded by the public. And the committee members, we know for sure, are getting paid for their works. So what is this extra money for? Or is that even necessary in the first place? And all of these questions don't help all the suspicions of corruption and allegations that are going on in this current climate where all these allegations are being thrown about. This news article, this confirmation by Joseph Osei does not help matters. And, you know, it only raises more questions. And those questions are what we are asking right now.
But let's try and draw the line here, as in the bit about the question here by Oliver was a bit, and I stand to be educated about the allegations here that these are brought by the individuals before they demand actually from them, before they come to.
But even if they are undemanded
you understand?
and they bring such money,
yeah,
you have a very moral place to ask what.
That's why I'm saying that sometimes the moral argument can be made about the issue rather than whether it is right or wrong or is justified and all those things. Purely on moral grounds, should you even accept anything, whatever form that it comes, after your work? Because it is your work, and whether that thing has the tendency to also influence your work. Because Mahama Yarega made a very interesting point that this government has the majority in Parliament in terms of, so listen, what he struggles to understand the argument that these nominees will then bring money before they come, because when it gets critical, they would vote and they can pass their members through. So that's
we know how they appreciate when
it's more of the moral argument than, you know, whether it is right or wrong or it's a normal practice, you know. And that's why even in some other countries, when you're a president, you don't accept a gift above a certain value because they feel that it has the tendency to influence your work. And it's more the moral argument than whether it is right, it's not right, it's a normal practice, you know. Some places they might bring you food and not the money, and as that food got the tendency to influence your judgment.
I disagree. I don't think it's public officers should be this matter should be subjected to a moral argument. I think it's just a pure issue of what it appears and looks like. And this is very much similar to the issue of Lydia Al-Hassan sharing food to voters. Even if she was sharing the food after they had voted, it's not her job to feed the voters. So these nominees, it doesn't matter whether it's after their approval or before their approval or whatever. It doesn't matter the circumstances or the timing. The point is, it's not their job to be giving money or offering money to the appointment committee members.
So how would you interpret same if, because this is a different arm of government, that's the executive giving money to the legislature to facilitate a committee's work.
Also that.
And the committee basically is approving the executives, because these are members of the executive eventually.
Where's the independence?
After they approved. What if it happens with the judiciary? What would you say?
There's that.
You know,
so there is a suspicion of compromise here, and the compromise of independence. And for me, I think it just doesn't appear. And look, and that probably is where the moral argument will come in as well. It doesn't. There is no way to win this sort of argument.
I think we should spend a bit more time on this particular subject later on the Super Morning Show. But let's get into the papers. Let's see what the papers are reporting.
Let me start with the Daily Graphic lead story. 2025 Africa Prosperity Dialogues opens today. Free SHS benefits 3.9 million and not 5.1 million. So says the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu. And also debt restructuring Ghana gains $2.8 billion, according to the Ministry of Finance, based on the final relief that the country has gotten as a result of reaching a deal with the official creditor committee or our bilateral creditors.
What does that actually mean? What does it translate into?
I mean, there's even a whole debate already boiling about this whole thing, about whether indeed that deal was reached long ago and maybe was just left with just the signing. So was it done already by the previous administration and it was just left for that signing to be done? And so the story being pushed across as if it is something new and was just done by this administration. Already something is brewing up. There's back and forth about those things. And so, but what it means is that...
Which really I don't think is relevant.
Much I do about nothing. Well,
how does that impact us and the economy?
Basically, a deal had been reached. It was meant for these countries to go to their parliament and all those things and get it reworked out and all the rest. Now, an agreement has been signed on based on how these debt restructuring can be done. For a lot of these countries who were financing some project in this country, because the deal had not been sealed yet, it has still influenced what they do and they don't do. Now that this deal has been signed, there's more of a firm document to hold that, okay, government has agreed that based on XYZ, you're now going to start making payments these times and all the rest. So it opens some room for some of these projects that these bilateral countries were financing to now fast track them. Right. And also the fact that let's talk about this is not savings in hand. These were commitments that you were going to pay as a country to these creditors. So now it means that you have been able to save some, but it's not a cash in hand per se.
Right.
These were payments that you were going to make, obviously. But now, because of this whole restructuring, you might be able to make some savings. So you owe Fenchio maybe $10,000 or something. You've been able to reach an agreement with him.
Mm-hmm.
You were saving some $5,000. It means that you might not pay that money to him going forward. So
you get to breathe a little.
So then you could use that money that you'd have come in as income to. So some will say that is spending delayed,
because we still owe.
You still owe.
You still owe the same amount.
You still owe. You still owe. But these are payments that you were supposed to make, and now because of this agreement, you may not make them. So if those money, especially
there's something.
No. The whole debt restructuring thing can be seen as some payments being deferred, but also. If you had not been this debt restructuring, you were due to make this payment. There are two things here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a portion of it that has to do with delaying payment, and there's a portion of payment that you should have made, and you are not going to do it again. So it's not cash in hand. So for instance, you were expecting maybe $10 billion to come in terms of revenue to pay this amount of money. Now, when that money comes in, you have a second option now to direct those funds to other sectors.
I understand. So, George,
that's where my excitement is, the fact that we're able to use it for other purposes.
Yeah. Fair enough. But I have a question for you. Is there any form of debt forgiveness in this whole thing?
I don't know
or every single dollar will be paid just at a different time?
I don't know whether you call it debt forgiveness.
Yeah.
But again, if you are being able to reach a deal with someone for him to say that, okay, based on your current circumstances, I want you to rework the way you pay me that debt.
Yeah.
There's a thin line between classifying this as a debt forgiveness or deferred payment. I know whether I'm confused.
No, I get your point, but I think the line is very, very thick. You're not forgiving. Yeah. You will just pay it at a different time. But it's a relief nonetheless, because it takes pressure off of you, and it makes you breathe a little bit, and you can use some of your money to do other things that are even more pressing than paying back the money.
As long as there's some element of haircut as well, you would see that as a savings, because you would have made that savings if it had not been this whole agreement on how these debts should be paid.
That story is also on the Ghanaian Times, obviously. And then there's another story here that says President Mahama returns home from a three-nation visit. He went to Angola, Tanzania, and Kenya as well. And in page 4 of the Ghanaian Times, Bakavomawa renders unreserved apology to Appointments Committee.
Who said that structured apology? Or did I hear somebody say that?
It's not one of those, if you want me to apologize, then I'll apologize.
but for me, I kind of struggle, yes, we might raise questions about the level of scrutiny by the committee. But for me, people trying to take them to the cleaners, as in we've never seen, at least as if we've not seen a committee, as in Parliament committee, work before when it comes to the appointment and what has been the structure. You will raise questions about the level of scrutiny, but this whole idea about their conduct has never been seen before and all the rest, I really struggle to understand. You raise questions also about how some of the committee members or committee members are relating to the chairman. But for me, we've seen several committees when it comes to the appointment committee, how they related to nominees, how the ranking member has acted over the years. And we have a situation where when a certain government, their members would try to protect the nominees that are coming in. So most of the time, the work is done by the minority in terms of more of a high level of scrutiny. Now, I won't use the word micro, but you look at the size here and you realize that there's little they can do because whatever happened when the pushes come for vote, they are going to lose. So you realize that they are kind of measured. Consensus, approval, and all the rest. Whether you like, you may have your say, but the majority will have their way.
But they've actually been very prominent. They haven't been like a... because we thought the numbers were so low that they would basically be missing. But I think they've been rather loud in Parliament.
Yeah. And also that's as a result of quite a number of issues. One, you can see if you monitor the conversation on social media, a lot of NDC people are very unhappy about what's happening in the vetting because they believe the chairman of the committee, Bernard Ahiafo, is a big reason why the minority are so loud. And there's a lot of people that are very unhappy with the way he's conducted business because they think that he is an easy pushover. And look, sometimes I watch a lot of the things and some of the words that people use to describe him on X, for example. And it's sometimes you wonder whether that is a true reflection of what's really happening. But you can tell that there is a lot of NDC people that are very unhappy. That's the word I would use.
I think that people also forget that this is a new parliament. See, we were so used to the previous leadership.
Yes.
They had done it for years.
Yes.
And we forget that this chairman in particular is new to even this work. We'll come back to this. Let's do the online review quickly. It's brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goil, good energy, Goil, Yen Ara Yendia. If you go to myjoyonline.com, this issue that I highlighted in my introduction, Ghana to lose over $138 million as US aid withdrawal hits health and HIV programs. Certain practices are being ignored, leading to vetting controversies. That's a member of the committee, Patricia Apieje there. City Newsroom, Apenyomakin says Freemasonry is not Antichrist. And CNN, American fighters are dying in Ukraine in growing numbers. Bringing their bodies home is a complex task. Let's quickly do the BBC News, which is brought to us
into the US, American Airlines. Sorry.
There's another crash?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get the updates on the BBC News shortly. It's brought to us by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us. And Old Mutual, 10 years of greatness in Ghana, here for a lifetime.
Ancestors. Funerals in Ghana are unlike anywhere else.
We love funerals.
I traveled to the city of Kumasi to learn what's behind these elaborate end-of-life celebrations.
Flamboyant funerals. Today at 9:30 and 21 GMT.
At 8:30 GMT, Business Daily.
We explore how gamification is reshaping the fitness industry, boosting users' engagements and transforming workouts. We'll hear from gyms, the tech companies, and dive into what the future holds for fitness.
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Hello and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with Victoria Wonhunda and James Copnell. Thanks very much for joining us.
Our top story today, shock in Washington, D.C. after a mid-air collision between a commercial plane flying from Kansas with 60 passengers on board and a military helicopter. This is one of the senators from Kansas.
I know that flight. I've flown it many times myself, and it is certainly true that in Kansas and in Wichita in particular, we're going to know people who are on this flight.
Democratic Republic of Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi is not taking part in regionally brokered talks aimed at ending the rebel assault on the key eastern Congolese city of Goma. We'll get the latest on the situation there.
And as many thousands of Gazans continue to try to return home, we hear from someone who's just made it back home to the north of Gaza. But first, this news.
Hello, I'm David Harper with the BBC News. Rescue teams are looking for survivors in the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. after a passenger plane collided in mid-air with a US Army Black Hawk helicopter. At least 300 emergency responders are braving the cold weather to look for the 64 people on the plane and the 3 soldiers on the helicopter. The plane was flying from Kansas. The Kansas Senator, Roger Marshall, said his thoughts were with the families of those involved.
I want the folks back home to just know that we care, that we love them, and that this is a time when we'll have to join arms together and help each other out. We've been through things like this before, through tornadoes and floods and things, but it's really hard when you lose, probably over 60 Kansans simultaneously. And I don't want to forget the pilots and the flight attendants, who are do their job, and the military personnel we lost.
Our correspondent in Washington, Merlin Thomas, has more detail.
It's not clear what exactly caused that crash, but what we do know now is that military helicopter was on a training flight. So far, we have no official updates on the number of casualties, but according to our US official partners, CBS, there are at least 18 bodies that were recovered from the river, and the rescue operation is still underway, and it's ongoing in very difficult conditions. So it's very cold here, and it happened late at night.
In other news, 3 Israeli hostages are expected to be freed by Hamas later today in the third prisoner exchange between the two sides. 5 Thai nationals will also be released. In return, Israel will release 110 Palestinian prisoners, including 30 women and children. Yolanda Nell reports from Jerusalem.
The Israeli hostages due to be released are Arbel Yehud and Gadi Moses, both civilians seized from their homes, and Agam Berger, the last of the female soldiers captured from their army base near Gaza in the Hamas-led deadly assault 15 months ago. The names of the Thai farm workers haven't been given. Among the Palestinian prisoners expected to be freed are many convicted of deadly attacks on Israelis. The most prominent is Zakaria Zubeidi, the leader of an armed group who also founded a theatre in Jenin refugee camp.
The Palestinian Health Ministry says an Israeli airstrike in the occupied West Bank has killed at least 10 Palestinians. The Palestinian Red Crescent said the airstrike was in the area of Tubas in the north of the territory. The United Nations Aid Agency for Palestinian Refugees, or UNRWA, is expected to stop work in Israel today following a banning order by the Israeli parliament. Israel claims that some UNRWA workers were involved in the October the 7th attacks. The UN says UNRWA's work, especially in Gaza, is irreplaceable and that banning it will harm the most vulnerable. World News from the BBC. The President of the Democratic Republic of Congo has vowed to restore government authority in the east, where Rwandan-backed M23 rebels have seized the city of Goma. In an address to the nation, Felix Tshisekedi said he would launch a fierce counterattack against what he called terrorists. He said the international community wasn't doing enough to stop the rebels who captured Goma earlier this week. Australia's reliance on coal for electricity fell to a record low at the end of last year. Less than half of Australia's power came from coal in the final quarter, despite being one of the world's top coal exporters. The shift is largely due to a boom in solar energy. But last month, the government's decision to expand 4 coal mines was criticised by nearby island nations as a betrayal of global climate commitments. Research in Britain suggests that a new method for detecting bowel cancer is more than 90% accurate at predicting who will develop the disease. Around 5 million people worldwide live with inflammatory bowel disease and are at a higher risk of developing bowel cancer than the general population. Dominic Hughes has the details.
The majority of patients won't develop cancer, but current treatment options for those at higher risk are limited to regular invasive checkups or major bowel surgery, which can be life-changing. This new method looks instead at changes to the DNA of those pre-cancerous cells and, with an algorithm, calculates the risk of developing cancer in the future. The ultimate aim is to develop a simple blood test that can accurately predict the risk of cancer for those living with IBD.
Dutch police have arrested 3 people in connection with the theft of ancient golden artefacts from a museum last Saturday. The treasures from the Dacian civilization were on loan from Romania when they were taken from the Drent Museum in Aachen. The incident has threatened to cause a major row between the Netherlands and Romania. Dutch police say they still haven't retrieved the stolen items. BBC News.
After a long flight, Safari Homes gives you the peace to unwind. A short drive from the airport, convenient for all. For nature lovers, Safari Valley Resort is a hidden gem, surrounded by lush greenery and luxury amenities. A place where you can truly escape. Now for water adventure, Aqua Safari Resort has it all. Jet skis, canoe rides, kayaking, and a visit to the estuary. And for more excitement, Safari Eco Park is the perfect place to get closer to some amazing animals.
Visit Safari World in Ghana, together bringing you closer to nature.
The festive season is here. You know what that means. Groceries, bills, and so many unplanned expenses. But don't panic. There's a cool new feature on Haptel you have to know about. It's called Pay Small Small. Yes, like the name says, pay small small. It's Ghana's first widely and instantly available buy now, pay small small service. With Pay Small Small, you can buy food, groceries, airtime, and pay all your bills without paying the full amount upfront. So this festive season, you're sorted. Pay a small fraction of what you're buying now and spread the rest into 3 weekly payments. All you need is your Ghana card to activate it and you're set. It's the perfect solution to keep your pockets in check this festive season and beyond. So don't wait. Go to your Haptel app now and choose Pay Small Small as your payment option. Haptel is everything you.
What if we told you that your next adventure is just a tap away? That's right. With Republic Bank Visa Credit Card, it's your time to win a staycation at some of Ghana's luxury beach resorts, 5-course dinner, a full-day spa service, or the ultimate, an all-expense paid trip to Dubai, the city of gold. Every tap brings you closer to winning in the Tap Win and Fly with Republic Bank promo. Whether it's Infinite, Adishi, or Classic Credit Card, just keep tapping to win. New customers are welcome. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Government in 2019 initiated a $993 million contract to build the Pwalugu multipurpose dam with special features to generate power, but most importantly, absorb spilled water from Bribery Dam to address the perennial flooding up north and also boost irrigation. The Agric Minister Rico Poco says after $12 million expenditure with no work done, the contract will be terminated.
What we will do is to terminate that contract immediately. We'll terminate the Pwalugu contracts, look for a contractor, look for funding, and then immediately ensure the execution of the project.
But what about possible judgment debt which may result from the termination?
Before we terminate, it will not be done here. We'll refer to the Attorney General's Department for his advice before the contract is terminated.
For Joy News, I am James Aveji.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
For over 60 years, Good Energy has served you top quality fuels. Goil brings you Super XP for a smooth ride. It is available in Goil stations nationwide. Goil Super XP is fortified with special additives which help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Goil Super XP is quality fuel, the ideal choice for most vehicles. Energize your ride with Goil Super XP. Who feel ya? Huh? Who feel? Good energy. Joy
Yafinia gave us the vibe. Now, Inshona Chile makes you thrive.
Yes, it's time to enjoy, Charlie. Buy or renew your motor insurance and boom! Free fuel coupons and airtime for your sweat. Who don't like enjoyment?
From January to June 2025, Enterprise Insurance gives you more reasons to smile on the road. Insure today and enjoy free fuel coupons for your car and airtime for your phone.
Free fuel? Airtime too? Hey! Enterprise Insurance, always your advantage.
Inshona Chile. It's simple. Insure and enjoy. Ready to secure your peace of mind and experience the fastest claims payment? Visit any of our branches or agency outlets nationwide. Connect with your insurance broker or enjoy the convenience of buying your insurance online through the Enterprise Advantage app today. Terms and conditions apply.
Enterprise, your advantage.
We have recorded tremendous success in ensuring that the vision of our founding fathers does indeed become a reality.
We welcome you to the next Africa Prosperity Dialogues and the Africa Prosperity Champions Awards, which take place in Accra, Ghana from the 30th of January to the 1st of February 2025.
I will work to foster the partnerships that transcends our borders, and I'll work collectively with you towards regional stability, economic growth, and mutual respect.
We see our role in enabling Africans to have a better future.
We indeed have what it takes. There is no dream which is too big or impossible.
On occasions like these, we give ourselves an excellent opportunity to showcase the difference we can make.
To register, visit africaprosperitynetwork.com. Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2025, delivering Africa's single markets through infrastructure. Invest, connect, integrate.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on
Okay, it's too early in the morning. Can you see me? Your eye clear. Okay, all right.
His eye is clear.
It's the Super Morning Show, and coming up on our show today, of course, we're going to go back to things that happened at the Appointments Committee yesterday, including this one.
Mr. Chair, I am saying here clearly that my post was not intended to disparage members of the committee, and I have not intended to say that members of this committee have received or demanded bribes from various individuals. At no point was my statement intended to communicate same, and for those reasons, I apologize.
Learned Counsel, your client, having apologized, is hereby discharged. Thank you very much for attending upon the committee.
So Oliver Bakavomo, Democracy Hub convener, appeared before the committee following a post that he made, and he since apologized, and so he was discharged. But that didn't end the matter of allegations of bribery. This came up on PM Express with Blessed Sugar yesterday. So this is former chairman of that committee, who is also former First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei-Wusu, making this disclosure.
Most of the time, at the close of our work, the Chief of Staff will bring money to the members of the committee.
It's not bribery? It's not influence peddling?
After the work, how can it be influence peddling?
It sounds very unfortunate for me to hear from my colleague Joe Wise that Chief of Staff used to bring them money after their work. Doesn't mean Parliament, the budget of the Chief of Staff covers Parliament. Are they not allocated their own budget? I think that is not a good practice. If it happened, I think it has to stop. If we know that after doing this work, we will be remunerated, it influences the work that we are doing. So there is influence peddling there, if it is true.
Auditor General Daniel Domelovo saying that this is actually influencing their work.
Yeah. I mean, he does have a point. I raised that point earlier. For me, I think it's just how it looks. Because clearly, the committee members are being paid for the work. Adequately rewarded, adequately remunerated. That's why they willingly accepted to do that work. So any extra money coming in, especially from an arm of government, doesn't look good. And that for me is it's a fundamental issue that has to be addressed. And it doesn't help with public perception about corruption or intergovernmental corruption. Because, I mean, why is somebody carrying money from the Jubilee House to appointment committee members? For what exactly? Is it a reward for staying up late to do the vetting? That's catered for. For all those extra hours are catered for. Is it reward for or compensation for approving the candidates? Is that what it is? Because if that is what it is, then there's a problem. Even if that's not what it is, then there has to be an explanation for what it is. Because yesterday, even after the former appointments committee chairman admitted to receiving those monies, when Blessed pressed him on what it was, whether it was influence peddling or it was bribery, he didn't really go on. He only said it wasn't, but he didn't say what it was. So if you ask that question you pressed on, if you say it's not influence peddling and it's not bribery, what is it?
You know,
like, what is it?
So I look at it in terms of separation of powers. If you are to carry your checks and balances effectively, then even if this is, sort of like a thank you, then you would not want to receive it at all.
Yeah.
Because strictly you're supposed to be checking them.
Yeah.
And so if you're receiving facilitation fee, which, by the way, we are not sure what that money is facilitating anyway.
Yeah.
Then how can we be sure that you are effectively checking that arm if you are also receiving from the same arm?
Yeah.
What's your on the side.
Is it not fair for anyone to make an argument that your independence is compromised?
But how is this different from any Ghanaian being served and that person saying that, oh, even though I've paid the statutory fee, I am giving you something on the side. And this is
that's what
this different from the normal practice out there? That's just what I'm asking. But I want to throw it out to our listeners. So please join us with your thoughts on the 0551111 That's our WhatsApp number. We don't know how you are interpreting this revelation, but send us your thoughts and also post on X with the hashtag.
Even Mama, I even have a question about time frames, right? Like, at what times during the vetting process do these monies come?
Well, he says after the work.
After everything?
That's what we do not know, because after
certain approvals have gone through.
After the work could mean after the committee's work, because we know that it doesn't
after
end
a
there,
day sitting.
because they deliberate, it goes back, just as we've seen, for members on the floor to approve,
yes,
or disapprove. So at what point does it end?
That's another legit question.
Exactly. Well, we've got other matters on our minds today. The Pwalugu Dam, it's come, the subject matter has come up again. And I think it's a bit upsetting when, this whole issue of Pwalugu Dam comes up, because this was supposed to be a multi-purpose project, with different bits. The irrigation aspect.
There's irrigation, there's hydro, and then obviously there's also mitigating.
And clean water.
Yeah.
For communities.
Absolutely.
Around.
And also mitigating the debilitating effects of the Bribery Dam spillage.
Exactly.
Because it was also supposed to serve that particular function.
Yeah.
And we've spent $12 million for absolutely nothing.
Wow. So now there's the talk.
Yeah.
The new agri minister is talking about terminating that contract.
Which is to the tune of, the last contract was supposed to be something in the region of just under $1 billion. I think $990 something million. If you terminate that contract, there are questions of judgment debt. And I'm glad that he says they will refer it to the office of the Attorney General to consider. But again, we could be heading into another deep hole of judgment debt. But if you look at issues of getting value for money, I mean, it's a no-brainer, to be honest, that we've spent $12 million. And I remember watching the appearance at the Public Accounts Committee on this particular matter, and nobody seemed to understand or know exactly why the $12 million was paid. Because the mobilization fee that was supposed to have been paid before the contractor mobilized the money wasn't fully paid. But $12 million was paid, and for what exactly, no one knew. Certificates had to be raised. For what purpose was the certificate raised, and why was the money paid? Nobody knew. And I think it's another issue that needs to be thoroughly investigated going forward, and rightful people brought to book. But I think any move to try and renegotiate and relook at the terms of this contract, or even subsequently terminating it and re-engaging and securing new funds for it, would be a move in the right direction. I think the idea for the dam was a brilliant one. And yet again, they said the what's that saying? The path to hell, or whatever it is, or is it the road to death, is full of what? Good intentions. We just have good intentions.
They don't translate into
Yes, but we never
actuals. Well, so that matter is strongly on our breakfast table this morning. We share your thoughts with us. But Toyota Ghana has big news to kickstart your year. We're thrilled to introduce our incredible extended warranty of 5 years or 120,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. That's 5 whole years of driving with peace of mind and saving big on repair cost. Choose Toyota Ghana Vehicles and Services for best experience with ultimate confidence for every journey. There's more. When you purchase any Toyota vehicle from our branches, you are assured of 1 year or 20,000 kilometers free service. Yes, free. Talk about unbeatable value. Right there, you have it at Toyota Ghana. Call Toyota Ghana today on 0302 429 80125. And let's get you started. Terms and conditions apply. Toyota, superior quality. Toyota Ghana Company Limited, the right dealership for Toyota vehicles.
And ladies and gentlemen, here's some exciting news for you. Omni Basic Bank, Ghana's fastest growing and coolest bank, has a new tagline: not just another bank. Yeah, you heard right. Omni Basic Bank has a new tagline: not just another bank. We are redefining banking with a renewed commitment to making you, our cherished partner, the happiest customer. This new era reinforces our resolve to be the bank of choice, where continuous innovation drives exceptional customer experience 24/7. Not just another bank means banking with confidence and excitement, knowing that your bank is truly extraordinary. Evolve with us. Our helplines are 0307 08 6000 or 0302 758 555, or call us toll free 0800 100 790. Omni Basic Bank, not just another bank.
And from now till the 30th of April, win big with Imperial General with the Asempa Motor promotion. Yes, it is good news. Renew your existing policy or sign up for a motor insurance policy from Imperial General and win handsome rewards. It's also instant. Just insure and pick your rewards. Fuel coupons, gift vouchers, special souvenirs, and many more. Imperial has made your renewal process simple. Just click on the link in the renewal notification message from Imperial and follow the prompts, and bingo, your renewal is done. And here's the big deal: Imperial is also giving you a free 1-year life insurance as part of your motor insurance. So get it double from Imperial General. Call Imperial General today on 0577 667 436, or talk to your broker or any of our agents across the country for further details. You can also follow us on all our socials. Terms and conditions apply. Imperial General Assurance, solid protection.
Yes, and Mama B, if you're wondering where to hold your strategy planning meetings, board sessions, or staff retreats, there's only one venue, and it's the Safari Valley Resort. Think of the green, serene environment, accessibility, meeting room capacity, flow and layout of space, room flexibility, quality of equipment, staff, and first-class catering services. Then Safari Valley Resort is your first choice. You can call us on 0596 914 394 0596 914 394. Safari Valley, bringing you closer to nature.
All right, you can also get closer to nature the other way by choosing Aqua Safari Resort. So conferencing doesn't have to be the same boring routine. The location of your next conference can both be resort centered and relaxing. Aqua Safari Resort gives you the best of both worlds and more. Let them take the stress out of the process. Just call them on 054 011 0190. I'm just picturing the river view.
Yes. I was telling Winston the other day, if you want water, go to Aqua Safari. If you want nature, greenery,
so you want
go
you
to
want
Safari
see the
Valley.
animals. Go to Safari Valley. Yeah.
So two very distinct safaris.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me tell you about the Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2025 from 30th January to the 1st of February 2025. Africa's most influential business and political leaders will gather in Accra, Ghana for the Africa Prosperity Dialogues and Project Afrique exhibition. It's under the theme Delivering Africa's Single Market Through Infrastructure. Invest, connect, integrate. This high-level summit will bring together heads of state and heads of government, business leaders and executives, social change makers and policy makers to shape the future of Africa's infrastructure and trade. The Africa Prosperity Champions Awards and Presidential Gala Dinner will take place on the 1st of February at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel here in Accra. This exclusive event will honor political estates, bureaucratic estates, private sector, CSOs, and personalities who have contributed to Africa's prosperity. To register, you can contact 053 6098 325 or send an email to protocol@africaprosperity.network, or you can just visit the website africaprosperitynetwork.com to register.
Now, Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, that's your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture at affordable prices. You know, for your convenience, they have an online store. So please buy from the online store, Kingdom Store. Online.com at your convenience. You don't have to physically go into any of their shops. They'll arrange delivery to your homes and offices within reasonable time as well. And they offer free delivery within Accra and Tema. They also accept payment via Momo across all networks. Terms and conditions, however, apply. At Kingdom, you know what you get. Quality, affordability. That's actually their
hallmark. And from the dreams of youth to the ambitions of adulthood, wherever you are in your journey, remember, where are you in that journey?
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, well, if you're starting a career, building a family, growing a business, or planning your future, we are here for you.
All of
growing
the above.
a family. All of the above. All of the above. Well, every goal deserves the chance to flourish, and with hard work, dedication, and a strong belief in yourself, the seed of greatness is within reach. So trust in the journey and understand that Fidelity Bank is with you every step of the way. Together, let's turn your dreams into reality. We are here for your journey. Fidelity Bank, believe with us.
Let's talk water tanks. Now, do you know the secret to real water storage? Well, it's simple. If your tank doesn't have the tortoise on it, then it's not the correct tank. That's right, the tortoise tank. Syntex tank is the champion of water tanks. It is strong and durable and built to handle our Ghanaian weather. Rain or shine, Syntex tank has your back. So go outside, check your tank, and if it doesn't have the tortoise on it, then my friend, you've got to upgrade. Join the Syntex tank family today and enjoy water storage that's tough like a tortoise. Call 0244 335 168 to buy now. Find one of our 400 agents nationwide. You can also shop online at syntexgh.com. Syntex tank. Strong, tough.
Yes, and Mama V, have you heard about the incredible benefits of Exilium from Total Energies? I'm sure you have.
Yes.
But let me tell you more about this premium fuel with its amazing 3-in-1 power. Total Energies introduces Exilium new formula, the additive enriched fuel with its powerful 3-in-1 action that 1. Cleans your engine, 2. Extends its life, and 3. Lowers your fuel consumption. Thanks to the cumulative effect of its anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives, Exilium new formula also lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption while reducing CO2 emissions. You will drive experience the difference with Total Energies Exilium new formula. Choose Exilium, choose quality.
So Fentio, you know, we have some fresh faces in Parliament, and some of them have been very impressive. I want you to take a listen to Professor Dr. Grace Ayensu Dankwa.
Issue about emergency medical services. Mr. Speaker, since I came into the Parliament maybe about a couple weeks ago, I have gone around the entire premises, and Mr. Speaker, I don't see any emergency kits or any emergency services provided for us parliamentarians. I don't see AEDs in the bathrooms or in the hallways. And the other day, we also saw the former president's ADC, who fainted in the chamber, and the way the ADC was actually carted away was actually not per standard of care. So, Mr. Speaker, as a trauma surgeon myself, I would like to propose that maybe with your indulgence, that we have a committee that might even have an emergency services team, so that we can walk the premise and see how best we can help ourselves in the room. I also have an agency that we teach emergency services, which is advanced cardiac life support, which is what happens when people are having a heart attack or a stroke. We also have the stroke care. That maybe we offer some of these classes to our parliamentarians, and not only just as parliamentarians, but the staff, as well as perhaps our drivers and maybe our house helps. so that in case one of us is in trouble, at least there's someone who can perform the first aid. Proper first aid leads to decreased morbidity and mortality, and all the studies have shown that. So for me, I'm concerned that we don't have those services available, not even an AED in any of the hallways. Should any one of us in this room have an emergency situation, I think that we probably may not make it to the nearest hospital. So we really need to look at that for us in this chamber and all of us in this House of Parliament. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So that's Member of Parliament for Esikado Ketan constituency, Professor Dr. Grace Ayensu Dankwa, raising a really, really critical issue about first aid, the lack of it in Parliament.
In an era where people complain about a lack of quality in representation in Parliament, a star rises to the occasion, and I think Dr. Ayensu Dankwa has hit the nail on the head. This is quality leadership, actually making a contribution that matters.
Relevant.
And this is a very, very
Timely.
important issue. And I like the way she laid out the whole issue. She just didn't go ahead to say, let's establish this. She first established a problem that she picked out on observation. Because she said she didn't notice anything like that in the hallways,
in the
bathrooms, and she goes on to even suggest that they offer training not just to members of Parliament but also to staff members, because you never know when an emergency occurs. There might not be another parliamentarian next to you; it could just be another staff member, and and if everybody has that skill, it's very important, and that could be the difference between life and death. So, listen, a very important suggestion she's made, and I hope the Parliament will take that into consideration and actually allow her to help set this up,
and also extend it to
other government
outside.
agencies. Yes, I agree.
And into the constituencies as well. This is the kind of mindset that we need in Parliament. Take the people's concern, fix the issues. All right, we've got sports coming up. Fentio, you're doing sports?
I am.
Okay, all right. And then we've got your birthdays all coming up. And today's Thursday, so Uncle Ibo White will be on with Food for Thoughts.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
It's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Imagine a world where your home or business is powered by the sun's boundless energy. Picture your rooftop transformed into a solar sanctuary, radiating with eco-friendly vibes and city-saving brilliance. Well, dream no more. With Standard Chartered's renewable energy loans, you can turn this dream into a dazzling reality. And guess what? Our renewable energy loans come at very low rates. That's right, we are not just offering loans, we are offering the keys to your solar-powered kingdom. Say goodbye to high electricity bills and step into a new world where every watt generated is a step towards a brighter, more sustainable future. So if you're ready to take control of your energy destiny and switch to solar today, give us a shout on any of the following phone lines: 050-153-5789, 050-153-5790, 0244-674154. Let's chart a course for a brighter tomorrow and make your solar dreams shine brighter than ever before. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Active Insurance, Mamo Official Paul. Buy or renew your motor insurance in the Active Official per promo and walk away with instant gifts such as free fuel coupons, car dusters and branded souvenirs. Dial *713*313# or visit any of our branches, agents and brokers nationwide to buy or renew your motor insurance policy. Get activated and receive your instant gift. Promo ends on 30th April 2025. Terms and conditions apply. Active Insurance. Our clients, our passion.
We have recorded tremendous success in ensuring that the vision of our founding fathers does indeed become a reality.
We welcome you to the next Africa Prosperity Dialogues and the Africa Prosperity Champions Awards, which take place in Accra, Ghana from the 30th of January to the 1st of February 2025.
I will work to foster the partnerships that transcends our borders, and I'll work collectively with you towards regional stability, economic growth, and mutual respect.
We see our role in enabling Africans to have a better future.
We indeed have what it takes. There is no dream which is too big or impossible.
On occasions like these, we give ourselves an excellent opportunity to showcase the difference we can make.
To register, visit africaprosperitynetwork.com. Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2025, delivering Africa's single markets through infrastructure. Invest, connect, integrate.
All right, birthday messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go. And Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, strong as a group, as close as a partner. We'll bring you the birthday messages a bit later, but let's get into sports. The Sports Center brought to you by MTN. Everywhere you go. Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. And if it's football you want, we've got it all. All of it on DSTV. All the leagues, all the cups, all the matches live in HD. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Yes, Mama V, let me tell you about Standard Chartered Bank. As the new year begins, it's essential to take the right step towards achieving financial stability. The start of a new year is the perfect opportunity to set your financial goals and start on the right path. And input from a professional can make that difference for you. At Standard Chartered Wealth Management Company Limited, you have access to a wide range of investment options that offer you monthly and half-yearly interest payments through diversified investment portfolios. You can call us on 0233 000041 or 0200 127 755, or visit us on the 4th floor of the Opebia House Airport, Accra today, and speak with our certified investment advisors on what options suit your financial objectives and risk appetite. Standard Chartered, here for good.
And convenience is finding easy solutions to everyday hassles, right? So here's one. Have you heard about M-Care from MTN and Med Pharma? That's convenient healthcare for everyone. Let's face it, being sick is no fun, and neither is waiting in long queues for healthcare. But with M-Care, all the hassle disappears. With the silver and gold packages, you get to choose between 10 Ghana cedis and 161 Ghana cedis per month and enjoy access to a doctor anytime, anywhere, and an efficient e-pharmacy with medication delivered to your doorstep. And it comes with life insurance cover for hospitalization and death, and health insurance depending on your package. This is all a bit unbelievable, right? Well, let me ask, what's more convenient than this? Download the Met Pharma app to sign up to the silver or gold package today. Fenty, I know we're starting with the UEFA Champions League.
And there was a lot of drama last night. Liverpool's winning campaign 100% record was scuppered last night. We'll tell you which team did it. Mediama have a new coach, and that's where we'll begin from, of course, with our first story. But like I said, there's quite a lot coming up in the next 10 minutes.
Now Saibari, Maro Jr. is up with this attack, 3 weights in the cross, and it's touched in! Incredibly, PSV Eindhoven are in front, and it's Ricardo Pepi, the American, with it.
Well, I thought it was the last. Well, that's PSV ending Liverpool's unbeaten run in the Champions League to book a place in the playoffs, but the rest still finished first of the on top of the table, of course, also in this bulletin.
Stones, fabulous ball, Savinho! Huge goal for Manchester City. It will surely keep them in the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah, Manchester City, they came from behind to beat Club Brugge and secure their place in the playoffs as big guns Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and PSG also win to progress. We have a rundown of the final match day of the Champions League group phase. But first, Ghana Premier League club Mediama, they've appointed Ibrahim Tanko as their new head coach on a 2.5-year deal. The former Ghana international replaces Nebosa Capo, who was sacked after a poor start to the season that has left the Muffs in yellow 7th on the Ghana Premier League table. Speaking after his unveiling, Tanko says his goal is to win trophies with the Takwa-based side.
I feel blessed. Mediama Sporting Club is one of the biggest in the country. When you look at the last 10 years, what the team achieved with all the infrastructure, and it's a very good choice for me. I think I can make it happen here. The success is there, like I said before, and I'm here also to achieve something. So definitely, before my end of my tenure, I'm sure that the caps will be more.
That's the new Mediama coach, Ibrahim Tanko. Now, president of the Ghana Football Association, Kedo Kreku, has called on Ghanaians to be patriotic and support the Black Stars after his outfit augmented the team's technical team and restructured the management committee. He made these comments in a Facebook post, aspects of which have been read to you.
With the announcement of both the management committee of the Black Stars and a revamped technical team, it is now our time to be truly Ghanaian and get behind our team once again with that singular ambition of bringing our team back to winning ways. Ghana, our beloved country, has gone through this challenging period before, but Ghana, having stuck together, has always come out stronger. In humility, determination and oneness, we have and will always bring smiles back to our people with your support. Let's support our Black Stars with all our might. Our players need you. Our players need us. It is time.
That's Kedo Kreku's statement there. Now, Zambia, their Copper Queens, that's their women's national football team, they qualified for the 2024 Olympic Games by defeating Ghana's Black Queens with an aggregate score of 4-3 in the playoffs. Months down the line, Zambia have appointed Nora Hopto, Ghana's coach, during those two matches. The General Secretary of the Zambian Football Federation, Rubin Kamanga, has told Joy Sports that the performances that the Black Queens put up in those two games against Zambia convinced them to appoint Nora Hopto.
Well, it could have been a turning point, but we were looking at a number of options. Even after we played that game, we had a couple of options, 6 or so options. And when we took the candidates through the process, we thought Nora fitted the profile of the team. She knew our players. She knew most of the players and their strengths and weaknesses. Maybe that gave her a bit of an advantage over the other candidates. We wanted to sustain the qualification to the Olympics, to the World Cup, win us some AFCON trophies, and win us some couple of regional accolades.
That's Kamanga. He is secretary for the Zambia Football Federation. Let's do Champions League football now. A goal starts tonight of 18 simultaneous kickoffs in the final match day of the Champions League. A new format eventually ended, as the traditional format usually ended with all the big guns still alive. Liverpool and Barcelona were the only teams already guaranteed a place in the top 8 and automatic progress to the round of 16. They stayed first and second respectively, despite Liverpool losing 3-2 to PSV Eindhoven and Barcelona drawing 2-2 with Atalanta. Liverpool, they could face PSG in the round of 16, of course. Joining Liverpool and Barcelona are Arsenal, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Aston Villa and Lille, who all produced the performance of the night to thrash Feyenoord 6-1 in that particular game. Now, before we go, the big news, of course, is from what's happening to Nigerian forward Victor Boniface. He was left out of the Leverkusen squad because he was negotiating a move to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, but the deal is now off. This is because Al Nassr have opted not to complete the deal, but instead signed John Duran from Aston Villa. Nigerian journalist Omar Akatuba was at the Bay Arena and has details of why Boniface's move collapsed.
right after the Champions League game against AC Sparta Prague. The sporting director of Bayer Leverkusen, Simon Rofer, spoke to the media right here, and he said in clear terms that no agreement has been reached between Bayer Leverkusen and Al Nassr. And of course, the manager, Xabi Alonso, speaking right at the post-match conference, he said that Victor Boniface would be in training tomorrow. So, in other words, no agreement reached yet between Bayer Leverkusen and Al Nassr, which means that Victor Boniface is still a player of Bayer Leverkusen.
That's a crazy story because Victor Boniface was set to earn 50 million euros a season if he joined Al Nassr. Al Nassr changed their mind last minute and have now decided to sign a different player from Aston Villa, and Victor Boniface is stuck at Leverkusen. There are Europa League matches this evening. There's Ajax against Galatasaray. There's also Inaki Williams' Athletic Club. They will take on Prince Edu Cabinet Victoria Pilsen, and Star Bucharest will also face Manchester United. That's all the sports this morning on the Choice Sports Centre. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Back to you, Mama V.
Thank you very much, Fentio. Fentio is on with me because we're doing the show together today. But Uncle Ibo has a special Valentine's gift for all of us. It's not just the two of us, but all of us on Val's Day and then on the 15th of February as well. Let's bring him in. He's got food for thought. Uncle Ibo, please. Uncle Ibo, this one, I beg you, we've eaten into your time. Forgive us.
Gorgeous, that is fine.
Forgive us.
That is fine. Gorgeous, how are you?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you.
Uncle Ibo, good morning.
Gorgeous, the last time we said Fentio should report with whoever he comes with, I didn't see him again.
Something came up. Uncle, something came up.
February 5th, February 14th.
Something
we'll be there.
came up.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
But this one, we have to come together.
Well, I wanted Fentio to come and declare his assets.
Okay, well, I'll come and declare all my assets. Every single one.
Every single one.
Every single one.
How many? How many do you have?
I'm a responsible citizen.
Yeah, so gorgeous. This Val Day, we are giving people 2 days of Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
So the Friday Valentine's Day and then the Saturday. Just something to note. 2 shows on Friday, but the first show will start at 5 instead of 4. The second show will be 8.
Okay.
But on Saturday, we go back to our usual time of 4 for the first show and 8 p.m. for the second show. So please note that. But if you are listening to me, instead of wondering what to do on Valentine's Day, we are making it simple for you. Just get a ticket and come to the National Theatre and watch the 2 shows we are putting up for you over the Valentine period. We are making Valentine 2 days for you. Gorgeous, on Monday, I started telling you about a dream I had that left me horrified and disturbed. I said I dreamt I was walking in a neighborhood and came upon a house that was supposed to be my home, my family home. The curious thing about that house is that those who did not belong to the house would enter with nothing and leave loaded and rich. I was urged to go inside to try to explain how a house that made so many outsiders rich had a majority of its inhabitants, that is, its children, poor. And this is what I found when I entered the house. The house that is the house that was supposed to be my family home. The first thing that hit me was the level of noise in the house. Once you entered the house, you got assaulted by the extreme level of cacophony. Everything was loud, very loud, confusing, and discordant. The next thing was how dirty the house was. People dropped litter everywhere. The gutters were used for the disposal of all kinds of waste. And every gutter was choked and stinky. It did not seem like anyone was in control, judging by the level of indiscipline, which was mind-boggling. Everyone treated outsiders with respect and generosity, but treated their own kith and kin with contempt and viciousness. Outsiders soon after entering learned to treat the family, that is, those who belonged to the house, with contempt, and the family did not seem to have any problem with that at all. There were a lot of rooms in the house, but I found people sleeping outside. I asked a guy with me what was going on, and he said, enter one of the rooms and see for yourself. So I entered the first room I came to, and I almost fell into a pit. I discovered that the elders had allowed outsiders and strangers to dig the floor in every room looking for more precious stones. Precious stones they allowed the outsiders to take away for peanuts. A lot of young people, boys and girls, were busy in the pit. But whatever they found, they gave to outsiders for almost nothing. I discovered that in this house, the children robbed each other for outsiders. It was as if there was an unwritten rule that the child of the house was not supposed to prosper. Everybody spied on his brother or cousin, and if there was anything going well for them, they made it their responsibility to destroy it. So everybody hid what was working for them, or just handed it to an outsider who were treated as untouchables in this house. I kept wondering, what kind of family hate their own kind but love outsiders so much? What kind of curse makes a family blind to what they were doing to themselves in working against each other? I realized that the young people in the house had given up hope and were only focused on leaving the house for another house. And they resorted to all kinds of means to leave the house, including jumping the wall into one of the surrounding houses. But the most heartbreaking thing about this house was the attitude of the elders of the house. They were concerned only for themselves and kept everything in the house for themselves. They ate without bothering to ask if their children had had anything to eat, and the children seemed to have lost all respect for them. My companion pointed to a corner of the compound and said, "You'll find the patriarch of the house over there, sitting on a throne. Go and greet him." I walked to the corner and saw the throne, but it was not a human being sitting on it, but money. Money had taken over the house and reduced everything in this house to money terms. Nothing else meant anything. I turned to my companion and said, "Is this house cursed or what?" Just then, I heard a loud sound. I turned in the direction of the sound and saw that a corner of the house had collapsed. I knew there were people in that corner of the house, and so I rushed there to find out if they were safe and if I could help. What I saw made me throw up. The people had been buried in the pit in the room. I rushed out to look for help for them and realized that everyone was going about their business as if nothing had happened. I thought they had not seen or heard of the accident, so I walked up to a group standing around and said, "Help! Some people have been buried in there." They looked at me with indifference and said, "What were they doing in there?" Just then, I felt someone shaking me. Then I heard a voice saying, "Ebo, wake up, wake up." I woke up to find my wife looking at me with worry written all over her face. She said, "You were crying in your sleep." I felt like telling her, "Let me cry, let me weep." But I knew she would not understand. And so I just said, And gorgeous, that is my presentation for this morning. And that concludes the dream I wanted to share with our listeners.
All right, Uncle. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Oh, and the whole of February, I'll be bringing you tidbits on love.
Okay.
For the whole month.
We'll be waiting for it.
I'll be picking my notebook. The interesting thing about me is that I've made mistakes in marriage for 42 years. I want my mistakes to be useful, so I'll be sharing them with our listeners.
42 years, you say?
Yeah, 22 years of fumbling and things like that. But God has been good to me.
Yeah.
Out of my failings and mistakes, I've come a lot of insights and a lot of wisdom.
Well,
and so I want to put them at the disposal of those who haven't come anywhere near for 2 years.
Thank you very much. We want to spice up things, so we are waiting for the tips.
Right. Gorgeous. Have a fantastic day and a wonderful weekend.
All right. Have a fantastic day and weekend as well, Uncle Ibo. We're getting ready for the Christmas surprise. The Valentine surprise. The 2 days of Valentine. I'll be sharing with our listeners the place and then where they can grab tickets. So thank you so much for food for thought.
Great.
Uncle Ibo White is back on Monday with another food for thought. Let's bring you the fuel station tips now. It's brought to us by the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, shaping policy, advancing industry standards. Your tip for today says emergency contacts. Be aware of the emergency contact numbers for the police and fire department. The fuel station should have this information displayed promptly. Be aware of the emergency contact numbers for the police and fire department. The fuel station should have this information displayed prominently. Thanks to the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, shaping policy, advancing industry standards for the fuel station tips. Let's bring you the business minutes, because it's 8 o'clock and it's brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG. We stand with you, Anointed Engineering Services, the Generator Experts, and Pinnacle Life Insurance. More for your smile.
Good morning, welcome to the Joy Business Minutes, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the Generator Expert, and Pinnacle Life Insurance. Bank of Ghana's gold holdings increases significantly more than 30 tons, signaling strong reserve build-up to support the cedi. Currency analysts carried Boutiques of the view that the interventions put in by the Bank of Ghana will help the cedi regain its strength in the medium term. The cedi has lost 2.4% in value to the US dollar in the first month of 2025. This is compared to a depreciation of 1.3% during the same period last year. The Institute of Customer Service Professionals is calling for the establishment of a customer service regulatory body to prioritize customer service delivery in the country. Ghana's customer satisfaction index dropped from 73.9% to 72% in 2024. And that's all for the Joy Business Minutes, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the Generator Expert, and Pinnacle Life Insurance.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
Thanks to Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG, we stand with you, Anointed Engineering Services, the Generator Expert, and Pinnacle Life Insurance. More for your smile, for bringing us the Business Minute. Anointed Engineering Services, they sell ultra silent, fuel efficient diesel generating set, size ranging from 5 kVA to 3000 kVA at competitive prices. For every generator you acquire, you will enjoy 5 years warranty. They also maintain and repair all kinds of diesel generating sets. If you've got one that you're not so sure of, just get it to Anointed Engineering Services and they will fix you. What do you get when you go to Anointed Engineering Services? Well, they provide their 24-hour emergency services, sale of genuine spare parts, reliable rental services. They give professional advice as well. And they also sell tower lights and they rent out tower lights. They've got branches in the entire country, 18 in all. But if you are in BBNE, then find Anointed Engineering Services at Petrogy, opposite Bethel School Junction. It's on the main BBNE Kumasi Highway. In Techiman, ex-oil filling station on the main Techiman Kumasi Highway is where you'd find Anointed, and their head office right here in Accra, number 77 Anointed House on the main Odoko Malam Highway near the Odoko traffic light. They also have a training school. They train students on generators and plant, auto mechanics, electricals and controls, and solar installations. They offer 80% hands-on training and 20% theory. Contact them on their hotlines 0243 480 334 or 0243 690 295. Anointed, the Generator Experts.
Coffee coffee in your cup, and Joy on the set, the Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
And this Valentine's season, Riverman Productions, in partnership with National Theatre and Joy FM, brings you a special Valentine's gift. It's a special showing of two of Uncle White's most exciting love plays, Bananas and Granites and Naked in Bed. In Bananas and Granites, Adelaide, the lawyer, has to make a tough decision of choosing between two men. Charlie, a fun-loving, happy-go-lucky, frisky hipster who has no sense of responsibility in life, and Abraham, a business mogul, principled gentleman who is seemingly boring and does not have a fun bone in his body. How will she make her decision? And in Naked in Bed, Samson is seen in a very compromising position with Mercedes, his fiance's best friend. A night before his wedding, Vicky, his fiance, calls in her mother and auntie, who arrive with all the drama to bring a solution to the problem. Will they be able to salvage the marriage? There will be two shows on each of 14th and 15th of February at the National Theatre. So on the 14th, Bananas and Granites at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. And then 15th of February, Naked in Bed at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. The rate is a cool 300 Ghana cedis per ticket. Only pay. Buy tickets via the Rover app and cover short code *365 *535# on all networks. Don't miss this opportunity to be part of an amazing Valentine's event. Sponsors cover Tealy's Tea and OCM Cereals. Buy your ticket now. Riverman Productions. Be the difference. Have you seen Bananas and Granites or Naked in Bed? You haven't? You haven't?
Namavi.
Yeah.
You said what?
I was asking if you've watched Uncle Ebu's place, Bananas and Granites and Naked in Bed.
No, I haven't watched that one.
Okay.
When is that one? Are we going for that one?
Val's Day. 14th and 15th.
Oh, nice one.
But you told
you took me to the first play. You asked me if I've watched that one.
So am I one of your assets?
Yes, please. Yes. You took me to my first ever Uncle Ebu play. So you are a big asset. You are a big asset.
You have to clarify that to Uncle Ebu.
Yes.
Because they say you will bring all your assets.
Yes, all my assets.
Roko.
Yes, Roko. Line them up. Line them up. I will even be carrying the Makoni you brought from Tumu to Accra. That is also an asset. Uncle Ebu didn't specify what kind of assets. Material, human,
What do you think he was talking about? What do you
all
think
my assets. So asset declaration, I'll print it on paper.
Social media messages here on the Super Morning Show. We encourage you to send your messages to us via WhatsApp, and here's the number 055-1111-997. Also post on X, Joy997 on Facebook as well, and kindly add the hashtag Joy SMS. We're thankful to EcoBank, a better way, a better African Provident Insurance with Provident Man. You are covered. They bring us the social media messages.
Yes, and let me tell you about EcoBank. Don't be scammed this festive season, okay? Listen carefully. Fraud activities are on the increase as scammers continue to target customers of various banks through phone calls, text messages, and emails to get customers to divulge sensitive information such as your password, your PIN, your card information, your CVV, which is the number on the other side of your card, OTP, and other personal details. Their ultimate goal is to steal your money. EcoBank wishes to advise all customers to be extra vigilant and never trust any phone calls, text messages, or emails from anybody posing as EcoBank staff and assisting customers to update their bank details. Some of them give you the impression that EcoBank will be calling you to ask for your account or card details or help you link your Ghana card to your bank account or offer unsolicited assistance. Beware. These fraudsters will try to gain your trust and persuade you to give out your personal or account details. Protect yourself by never sharing sensitive details with anyone claiming to represent EcoBank. Always remember that 1. Bank account details can only be updated at EcoBank branch. 2, EcoBank mobile app can only be upgraded at the App Store or Play Store. Or 3, linking your Ghana card to your EcoBank account is at any EcoBank branch or at www.ecobank.com. 4, do not share your password, PIN, OTP, card information, or any other personal information with anyone, whether remotely or face-to-face. 5, never give the 16 digits or any number on your bank card to anyone. 6, avoid any calls or messages that request you to click a link. That particular one, don't click the link. 7, report any suspicious SMS, email, or phone call to the EcoBank contact center and delete such messages at once. When in doubt or feel insecure, call EcoBank contact center on, and the number is easy, store it on your phone, is 0800 00 3225, and you will not be charged for the call. 0800 00 3225. It's toll free, like I said.
All
You'll
right.
be charged.
Listen, let your journey be worry-free, particularly this year, 2025. Renew or buy a brand new motor insurance policy with Provident Insurance from January to March 2025 and enjoy exciting rewards, including fuel coupons and exclusive Provident souvenirs. You need assistance? Well, chat or buy. Yeah. That's the friendly WhatsApp assistant on 024 242 6396. She will sort you out. Baby. Anywhere, anytime, or visit any of our 15 branches nationwide. Provident Insurance, your reliable partner for 43 years, keeping you covered every mile of the way. Don't miss out on the special offer. Chat or buy now, or visit any of our branches, agents, and brokers today. Terms and conditions apply. Provident, man, you're covered.
Are covered.
EcoBank Mobile, they make me say, oh yeah. EcoBank Mobile, they make me crazy. Download it and use it. It gon' make your life so easy, yeah. Oh yeah. Download it, you gon' enjoy it. In my rhyming check. In my rhyming check. Come make a download them for you. Cause you can pay bills, you can buy credit. You can pay school fees, even chest tights with the Apple. EcoBank Apple. Charlie J. Nabu. Life is easy with the EcoBank mobile app. You can pay your bills, transfer to and from mobile wallet, virtual card creation, transfer to other banks, express account opening, scan and pay, express cash, all at your fingertips with the EcoBank mobile app. You know it's 5-star life with EcoBank. Can promise.
This new year, let your journey be worry-free. Renew or buy a brand new motor insurance policy with Provident Insurance from January to March 2025 and enjoy exciting rewards such as fuel coupons and exclusive Provident souvenirs. Need assistance? Chat with Obaya, our friendly WhatsApp assistant on 024 242 6396. She will sort you out, baby, anywhere, anytime, or visit any of our branches, agents, or brokers today. Provident Insurance, your reliable partner for 43 years, keeping you covered every mile of the way. Don't miss out on this special offer. Terms and conditions apply. With Provident, man, you're covered.
Provident, man, you're covered.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
No doubt. And we're having 4 breakfasts where we're serving you. This issue that has come up rather very strongly and is worrying, the issue of bribery, but in terms of monies going from the executive to the legislature, particularly the appointments committee. We will be To Martin Pebo shortly and Samson Ladia Yenini and Franklin Kujo. But big stories brought to you by Telecel Connecting Energies, latest from your partner for life, Lancaster University, Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa, and Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Yes, and you can switch to Telecel fixed broadband today and experience incredible bonuses, non-expiry bundles, data transfers across devices, and then so much more. New customers get 50% bonus data in addition to other mind-blowing offers, and existing customers also receive 300% bonus data on every broadband renewal. To keep browsing, to subscribe to the Telecel fixed broadband for these amazing offers, simply dial star 900 hash or use the Telecel Play app or visit a Telecel retail outlet or the website www.telecel.com.gh and get connected today. Terms and conditions always apply. Telecel, connecting energies.
And have you heard? If you haven't heard, well, I've been telling you, but I'm telling you again that Republic Bank is giving, and they're giving big. What do you have to do to be part of this? To also receive, well, pay with your Visa credit card and stand a chance to win an all expenses paid trip to Dubai or a luxury staycation at some of Ghana's finest beach resorts. Maha Beach Resort is a destination that you could be. Breezes Beach, you could end up there, or Camp Chache. You could also win a 5-course dinner for 2 at the exquisite Braza restaurant, a full day spa services for 2, and other exciting rewards in the Republic Bank Tap, Win and Fly to Dubai promotion. Here's what you have to do. Keep doing what you've been doing, which is use your Republic Bank Visa credit card. If you've got Infinite, Adishi or Classic card, please use them. And remember, every tap counts. It's time to fly to Dubai with a Republic Bank Visa card. Start tapping and make this season unforgettable. This promotion is under the Characters Lottery platform. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
When I joined the appointments committee, most of the time at the close of our work, the chief of staff will bring money to the members of the committee. It's like facilitating our work. I wonder how anybody could link that to bribery.
It's not bribery? It's not influence peddling?
After the work, how can it be influence peddling? It does not give advantage to anybody or gives disadvantage to anybody. So it's a pity how we can stretch facts and give information or explanations or interpretations that have nothing to do with the reading.
It sounds very unfortunate for me to hear from my colleague Joe Wise that chief of staff used to bring them money after their work. Does it mean Parliament, the budget of the chief of staff covers Parliament? Are they not allocated their own budget? I think that is not a good practice. If it happened, I think it has to stop. If we know that after doing this work, we will be remunerated, it influences the work that we are doing. So there is influence peddling there. If it is true,
I don't think that we have taken it as seriously as one would have expected. Because when you are watching the proceedings, you see how the questions and the responses that come, we are not as diligent as one would have expected, probing the candidate for answers and indeed demonstrating the understanding of the expectations of the office, and also bringing out issues about how competent the person is. It's important. The members of parliament have a responsibility to also show the public that indeed we are answering biting questions that will expose or confirm the competencies of the candidates.
Wake up. Good morning. Good morning.
All right, joining us for a conversation right now is Martin Pebo. He is a lawyer. Martin, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Super Morning Show.
Good morning, Mama Abby. Morning. Happy New Year.
Oh, many happy returns. I hope you're doing well, Martin.
Yeah, we are hanging in here.
We thank God. So hopefully you heard the audio that I just played to you, but I think I'm getting a bit of feedback. If you can. Okay. All right, Martin. If you heard the audio that I played, the bit about former first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei-Wusu, making that revelation there about monies coming to them when he was chairman of the Appointments Committee from the Chief of Staff's office to them as facilitation. Something to facilitate their work. He talks about the fact that we shouldn't link it to bribery. What do you make of that?
That's a fanciful proposition. Proposition that money that they receive for vetting nominees, okay, it cannot be linked to bribery. No. What happens is that, you see, the fact that the money is being received after the end of the vetting per se does not take it out of the realm of bribery. Our law is clear that if at the beginning of the work the expectation is created that at the end we will give you 1 cedi, please, it's still within the realm. And these things are commonly said and done. That, as a going on, please, let's go on. Chief of Staff will see to us. We've sent a message, etc. I beg to differ strongly with Joe Wise. It's not often. That's what a lot of people do when it comes to the bribery and corruption. They think that just by receiving it at the end, that means that there is nothing. It's all kosher. No. What happens is that, yes, practically, it becomes more difficult to prove bribery and corruption if the money is received at the end. Because the person, like in this case, your wife is saying that it just happened at the end. But that's not what the substance of the law is about. If the expectation is created at the beginning and you subsequently received at the end, please, it's still bribery and corruption. You see, you meet that. Sometimes you even meet lawyers talk about this matter. One day I spoke to somebody very high level. He was talking about this matter. When I did the work, they said they would give me this money. I said no. They should keep it when I finish. I laughed, I just, but the occasion wasn't right to give him medication at that time. But I'm that it's a common thing. Often the ones we call honest in our society, in public sector, etc., usually they are the ones who would not take the money in the course of the work or at the beginning, right? But usually we wait and then it comes at the end. And this thing Joe Wise is mentioning spread, very widespread. That's why I said even the ones we all call honest, usually that money is given at the end. And it's all saying that, yes, once it came after I finished the work, it's legal. But like I'm saying, that's not actually the end of the matter. But it's the signaling. What happened before the work got finished? Were you saying that, hey, I'll take my tip at the end of the work? I'm going to receive my cola when you finish. Bring me cola when I finish. Once these things happen, then it's still the same bribery and corruption.
Let me say good morning to you, Samson. Thank you for joining us. After all, it's not like the members demanded the money. It came from the Chief of Staff's office to them to facilitate their work, and they received it after work. What could be wrong with that?
Everything absolutely wrong with it. That's not an allowance, is it?
Hello, sir?
Is that an allowance they were paid?
No, he just described it as a facilitation fee, if you like.
Nonsense. That's corruption. In plain sight, that's bribery and corruption. Let's call it what it is. This is acts that, this country, sometimes all the things are funny. Look, I've led a couple of processes where high-level people are involved. Of course, lawyer-client privilege. I cannot share any stuff. But if you know some of the things some of us know, this thing, we just need a very concrete way to kill it. Otherwise, they just come us. But did you hear how they talked about this boldly, openly in Parliament during the vetting committee about protocol for security service? employment, recruitment. So people who don't have access, what happens to them? We thought this was supposed to be, a meritocracy. And Omanibuama talking about the defects, the disadvantages in that kind of system. He won't change it. I don't trust that what he said that he will change it and it won't happen. It will go on. When it happened at some point, Henry Cote was doing everything to deny it. Look, anyway, only you call me to discuss withdrawals and nolly prosecutions or something like that.
Yes, Samson, we'll come to that. We thought that we'll deal with this first issue because this happened just last night on PM Express. So we'll come to the other issue, which
you read Manasseh's account about what happened and what Joe Wise had to say about it, what the Muntakers had to say about it. I was lawyer for Muntaka when the matter happened and we went to appear before the committee to make a case when a number of the MPs alleged that, money was exchanging hands, and then suddenly flat denial from everybody else, choreographed nicely across. Okay, let's end it there.
Let me bring in Martin. Martin, just before we move away from this issue or we come to how to cure it, I wonder why the chief of staff at the time would bring monies to members of the appointments committee. Why do you think that would be?
Obviously, it was to influence their work. And as I said, usually the signals were sent before the money came. That, go slow on X or Y. And that at the end of the day, we would be bringing the package.
Even if it's not expressly said.
That's the system. That's how it works. This is, we don't have to be shy about it because if we don't speak plainly, it will never go away. Everybody understood. And it's good Joe Wise admitted it, except he twisted it a little bit by just saying it was at the end. I'm telling you that usually the signal is sent ahead of time, but there will be performance at the end. And so it affects how certain nominees are vetted. Okay? Yes. Do you remember that there were certain nominees people thought that they should never make the vetting? And they did. And eventually even got more votes on the floor of parliament than even certain nominees were thought to be more competent. What do you think happened? Just cast your mind back. You would hear there were certain nominees who couldn't define certain terms, right? And so there was a lot of uproar, furore on social media that how come this minister can't even define this term? You are going to a ministry. You don't even know what this means, basically, right? And people were upset. Yet, at the end of the day, those ministers got more votes than other ministers who were thought to be competent. These were the things that were going on. Yeah. These were the things.
Sorry, Martin, not to cut you.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the demeanor of Joe Wise and Muntaka at the point when they were speaking to Manasseh, and if you listen to Joe Wise and observe him carefully over a period, you can deduce the reason he's no more interested in the call it the mainline politics. He comes across as having become fed up. He comes across as someone with good conscience and feeling a certain conflict that he cannot be part of, some of the things that happen, apart from his complaints about the caliber of people you have who manage to get into parliament. All sorts of characters, And, well, they preach to the people that they are going there to represent their interest and to do all the good things. But we know that a good number of them, they have other considerations. Why is it that the president is making appointments and it's becoming as if every MP on the NDC side must get appointed? The same thing was happening in the NPP era. And you hear, even the MPs talk about people's morale will be, as it were, will go down if they don't get appointments. And Afenyo talks about how he should increase the numbers and satisfy some people. What is all that for? If you are going to Parliament, your job is to go there and make laws. Why do you want to be, a minister? Why must that? And the inciting, even for that, it's ugly.
Well, if you just joined us, we're talking to Samson Ladi-Ayanini and Martin Pebu on the admission of former Member of Parliament for Bekwai, who was first Deputy Speaker of Parliament in the 8th Parliament, who's admitted that members of the committee that he chaired at the time received money from the Chief of Staff after vetting nominees, and he described it as to facilitate their work. So, Martin, how do we cure this? It looks like, is it something that can go away? I mean, nobody in this present committee is admitting to this. We've seen a member of the committee, Patricia Piaget, who says that nothing of this sort has ever happened. She hasn't witnessed anything like that herself.
Oh, that's a palpable falsehood. Yeah, when I read it, I was like, that's Patricia. Do you think that we have no memory? Well, I mean, has she read Joe Wise's statement? I mean, when I heard it, I was like, you guys, the person interviewed allowed this to go on. Is it, if she has no memory, well, that's her own personal matter. But I'm sure the rest of Ghanaians can just Google and find that Joe Wise has said it. And Okujeto himself, prior to that, you remember he had resigned from the committee because he thought that those monies were not in the right order. So, what can Patricia J say about that? Didn't Okujeto resign from the committee? And was it not over that money? What is she saying? So when I read it, I was like, what is this lady saying? It's as if we are kids. She could just come and say anything she wants and go away. I think her attention should be drawn to this story. Maybe she should be given another interview. It's not on. Because, to be honest, when I read it, I was very irritated. I was like, this woman is behaving like we have no memories. Maybe she's the only person who is, so to speak, Ghanaian. This thing has been there for long. There are more of these stories. It's just that it's not everything that comes out. You heard something say because of solicitor-client privilege. It's not everything we can talk about on air. Because of that privilege, as a lawyer, if you breach it, that one is another matter. But please, on authority, these things go on. Some of the ministers have said it in the past. Look, I'll show you how sometimes it even happens. Usually, the weak ones are the ones who rush to pay so that the vetting will be soft. But the very competent ones, I remember there was this case that a very competent minister was going for the vetting. Then they said, hey, are you not bringing the cooler? He said, no way, I'm not bringing it. Oh, they did that. He didn't. He didn't send it. Because, of course, he knew his stuff and he went through. But the weak ones, as I said, just remember the story on social media. Certain ministers couldn't explain certain basic conduct. Basic terms. Yet, at the end of the vetting and the voting, they got more votes than so-called competent people. You think what happened? That we are joking. So, Madam Patricia J should be told that she should never make such submissions on air again. I mean, let's admit it that, well, things aren't going well. We all need to admit, because they say a problem well diagnosed is half solved. So if you would admit, we know it's a challenge. You see, the problem is that it's so pervasive that when you even come and talk about it, it's like, oh, we'll get nowhere. But it will get worse if we don't talk. You see. So we are all talking, and the more you talk, then the more you know that, hey, you've gone on air to say X, Y, Z. So you yourself, be careful. Like the way they say, gee, now, so as you are talking about somebody, then just know that people to be on the watch out for you. So for me, that's a huge motivation, because the moment you go and talk about this bribery and corruption, then you also be on the lookout that the day somebody catches you, it will also come out, because they say, you were pontificating, blah, blah, blah. So I prefer a situation where we'll come and pontificate, and through that, we'll know that if you dare go near these things, there will be trouble. So that in a way, so all I'm trying to say is that as we preach, as we advocate, we are helping to solve it, because it means that then the lines have been drawn. So we are telling ourselves as a community that for all the people who come out and speak boldly about these things, then they better watch out too. You just look at the situation that we shouldn't speak about these things just because it's so pervasive. It's a standard thing to do. It will get worse. We will just get swallowed up, and then the whole society would collapse. So it's rather better that we keep fighting. Even some may fight and then eventually fall along the way. Other fighters will get up and join. There are young people coming. So let's say if Mr. X comes to pontificate, in pontificating, he's helping to push back those involved. If eventually Mr. X gets caught in the web, what will happen is that we are 33 million people. Other fighters will get up. Because sometimes you meet people privately and they are like, this fight, if you keep fighting like this, then you will make no money at all. Yeah, no, that's wrong. Let's give a last example.
I believe that part of the solution, perhaps more effective, will be for those of them who have a conscience, who fear God, to stand up and capture the evidences of these wrongdoings and show the world that this is what is going, and damn the consequences, because there are few in there who cannot bring themselves to these kinds of things. Those are the people, somehow we don't support them when they are being hounded. We saw Kuku Kwating in Chi, they say Adiana Meno. He came out and said that the economy is being run like a Ponzi scheme. You think Kuku Kwating will say this lightly? He was fighting the near criminal, what do you call them? Gifts that we're going to be giving in the name of projecting business. You know, tax holidays that certain entities were not deserving that were being given. They kicked him out of the place. But he stood his grounds because he acted like a person of conscience. Why? What they are taking, they are entitled to allowances for sitting. If they take these monies, will they make any declarations about it? Will they pay tax? Will they pay gift tax? Omani appeared, he was being asked of his tax obligations because as a doctor he was doing locum. We know doctors do locums all over the place and they take money, on the table. But this was what he was being confronted with and being embarrassed about. But the people who are, happily engaged in that, can they throw the first stone, really?
Something I was just going to ask, you're asking individuals, to sort of step away from the practice. And I'm asking if you are aware of the possible price that they could pay for that. It could mean losing your seat. It could mean you being an enemy to the party that you represent. On whose tickets, you got to Parliament in the first place.
Okujeto Ablakwa almost became a persona non grata within his party for stepping up, even though he didn't go to the point where we expected him to go to. I just mentioned Kuku Kwating. He stood up and he damned the consequences. He went ahead. They removed him. He was the most competent guy to do that job on that committee, but because he wasn't playing ball in that corrupt enterprise, he was removed. Did we come to his protection? Did we speak for him? Well, I can say that for myself, I did. But we look on, and evil triumphs. That's what is going on in this country, a lot of it. And that's why that corruption is thriving.
Martin, just a final word on this in terms of how should we progress. I think you were making your point. I'm not sure if you fully concluded.
Yes, so I was making the point that in the UK recently, the anti-corruption minister Tulip had to resign because they found that there were certain properties that were connected with her, and it was linked to the ex-Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Yes, the one who left, the Bangladeshi Prime Minister, right? So the point is that, so you see that an anti-corruption minister herself was found to be linked to corruption. She had to go. So the point I was making is that often for a lot of people, they are like, oh, if you keep advocating, right, then it means that you won't make money, okay, and that it will continue. So then my point is that, you see, an anti-corruption minister was brought on. She fell. Now she's out of the way. Another person is being brought to continue. And even the Bible says that the fact that we try in life and fail doesn't mean that we shouldn't continue trying. Because that's a very common thing I keep hearing people say, that, oh, you will fall. But if A falls, B will come and continue the fight. So as for the fight, we have no alternative but to continue fighting. I think all Ghanaians must accept that we have no alternative but to continue fighting. Otherwise, it will get worse. Then, so, I mean, you remember the question Kisieja being asked when he did the Ankunam, press conference. He kept asking Ghanaians, are we ready to fight corruption? Are we ready to fight corruption? Are we ready to fight corruption? That's the point he was making. And it's not to say that Kisiu is an angel, but what he meant was that let's all put our hands to the wheel. So if you sit down and think that, oh, you are looking for money, or you, this person talking, you are not 100% correct, or you are not 100% perfect, so because of that, stop. That's not an argument, because I hear it all too often. That's the point that I want to make, that we must fight, notwithstanding that we have our personal frailties, and that when anybody falls, another person will replace him in the fight.
Martin and Samson, just stay with me for a few seconds. I want you to take a listen to this.
When I joined the appointments committee, most of the time at the close of our work, the chief of staff will bring money to the members of the committee. It's like facilitating our work. I wonder how anybody could link that to bribery.
It's not bribery? It's not influence peddling?
After the work, how can it be influence peddling that don't give advantage to anybody or gives disadvantage to anybody? So it's a pity how we can stretch facts and give information or explanations or interpretations that have nothing to do with the reading news.
So this was on the PM Express last night with Blessed Soga. The man himself is joining us, Joseph Osei-Wusu, former member of parliament for Bekwai, and in the 8th parliament he was the first deputy speaker. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Super Morning Show.
Thank you very much.
Well, there's been a lot of feedback following that conversation you had last night. You've slept on it. What would be your fresh thought this morning following everything that you've heard?
Unfortunately, I haven't heard any of the conversation, but another radio station called me raising the issue, and I'm wondering if any of the people talking have worked in public service before, and I understand budget releases and failures. I'm sure he will look at things differently. First and foremost, it is true, Parliament has a budget which is supposed to cater for committee sittings and so on. But in 2009, when I joined Parliament, often there are no releases. And so you will sit through and do your work, and the releases will not come. The committee allowances will not come. So sometimes the leadership will tell the agency, or in this case, in this particular case, because the persons being offered were from the executive, that look, we've done this work 1, 2, 3. Allowances have not been paid, so it will be difficult to mobilize
members, then the chief of staff will undertake to release money which ought to have been paid by Parliament, which has not been paid, will then come through the clerk of Parliament. The clerk to the committee. Let me put it on record that the highest I ever got between 2009 and 2016 was 2,000 Ghana cedis. Can verify from the clerk to the committees. So to suggest that is bribery, it's to say that the person doesn't understand how the public service works. In fact, in Parliament, let me say that often, when our budget is all released, we hold the finance minister to ransom when he has a critical work to be done. We will state, unless you release our budget allocation, we will not go on with the work. I don't know how anybody can call that bribery. Bribery must give somebody advantage or somebody disadvantage. But facilitating my work because the financial release that ought to have come to the institution I work for is not bribery. It's not. And it sounds to me very hypocritical. Because I know you media men, you ask people and agencies that invite you to do their work to facilitate your work all the time, don't you? Do you call that bribery? I was head of DVLA, and I know how much it cost us to get publications done. Is that bribery? Please, let's be fair. When it comes to people who have not worked in public service before, I can appreciate their misunderstanding. But for anybody who has worked in public service, will understand what it means, say, you have been given budget allocation. But I can assure you, apart from emoluments, that is monthly salaries, you will struggle to get a quota. And if you follow the budget process all the time, if anybody was following other committees, they show 40% of our budget was released. The rest, nothing. Particularly when it comes to this one, they call it administration, hardly released. So I don't know what people are saying, but let me put it on record that yes, from 2009 to 2016, when I was a member of Parliament, and indeed the chief whip then also confirmed this, that if at any point in time there was challenges to funding our work, the chief of staff would facilitate the work by releasing money to the clerk of the committee to serve to members. If anybody thinks that this is corruption, I beg to differ.
So, Mr. Joseph Osewusu, between the time that you gave, the 2009 to 2016, you received these monies as allowances because monies were delayed, allocations were delayed. Is that correct?
I don't know whether delayed, but all I know is that at the time we were supposed to do the work, there was no money in Parliament to pay for the allowances. And often the leadership of Parliament will insist that we can start. There's no money to do the work. That is when often the head of the presidency, that is the person who has nominated the nominees, would facilitate our work.
May I ask what the monies exactly go into? Are these sort of like certain allowances, or this would be fuel?
Well, often we're supposed to get certain allowances. But even to date, I don't remember the last certain allowance I got from the last vetting we did. It may take about 5-6 months before you get paid. But when you do 2, 3, 4 and nothing is coming, people are no longer interested in appearing to do the work. And that's when the facilitation comes in.
Right. But eventually monies are released by Parliament to members of the committee, correct?
Not all the time. I mean, let me say, Frank, between 2009 and 2016, when I was an ordinary member, not in leadership, I can say that only about a third of what allowances were due as was paid.
So in cases where you've received from the presidency and Parliament also pays you eventually, do you return what you got from the presidency?
Why should I? Why should I return it?
Why not? It means that you've been given double for the same work.
You facilitated my work. If you facilitate my work, why should I?
So no, my understanding basically
on the occasions that the presidency or the chief of staff facilitated the work, we didn't return any. So, are you asking what has happened to those that have not been paid in the last 10, 15 years?
Well, if you're entitled to it, then you can. If you're entitled to it, then you have all the rights to follow that up and get your money.
If you have worked in public service before, you understand what it means to be owed by the government of Ghana. At the time I joined DVLA in 2002, board meetings, water that they credited, they bought on credit to serve board meetings, they were standing for 6 months. The person who gave it on credit to them came to me. I didn't know about that board meeting, but I was touched. I tried to find out budget release. The year is gone. If the money is not released in that year, you've lost it. You prepared the next budget. I hardly know that you're giving credit at the beginning of the next year. No.
You exited Parliament just last year. In the last term.
January.
Was this practice still the practice as at the time that you were leaving Parliament?
No. In fact, I must say that at the time, particularly this 8th Parliament, we had changed our system such that at the beginning of the year, Mr. Speaker will insist that they release our money before we do the work, and we had substantially increased the budget. But I think the Speaker even said it on air. Now, if you look at the budget of the judiciary and that of the executive, what comes to Parliament is peanuts, and we negotiated and fought until they increased it tremendously, so that there was often sufficient resources within Parliament.
So, would you expect facilitation? Would you expect the presidency now, the chief of staff, to be facilitating the work of this particular committee now?
I don't know how much money has been released to them. I'm not in a position to know. These are factual matters, no speculation. If there's no money, the committee may insist that if you're not sure that will be paid, we will not start. But I am not in a position to comment on that because I don't know those things for a fact.
Right. Well, before you join us, though, I was talking to Samson and Martin. So, Martin, I want you, first of all, is there anything that you want clarified after listening to Joe Weiss?
Yes. Okay. Amavi, we must commend Joe Weiss for at least, bringing and admitting that they receive money. You see, even though you say it's not bribery and corruption, we'll come to that later. But this is the point I was making earlier on. That so what Madame Patricia J did is a great disservice to Ghana. I think her attention should be drawn to this. She should apologize for that. She shouldn't treat us like we are done that heads. We don't know anything. She's the only what do you call a proper Ghanaian, so to say. This is something that goes on. So if for an MP of her stature she comes to deny this, then it means that she herself has questions to answer. There are grave issues of integrity. It's something that happens. And it's been there even before she became a member of Parliament. This is something that way back over 20 years ago when we were in University of Ghana, we had. It has always been there. It has always been. So I think Madame Patricia J needs to do something about this. Her interview is not on. she's disrespected us as a nation. She shouldn't do that. If she doesn't know, just say, I don't know. But to deny that it doesn't happen is a different thing. You just say, well, I'm not aware. But to say it doesn't happen, it doesn't exist, it's a different thing. Yeah, so now let's come to the second point. You see, Joe Wise has told you that after 2-3 veterans, people lose interest. So you see, earlier on, I told you that there's signaling. They are told ahead that the chief of staff will be doing something about it. So you see my point that there's always information ahead of time to motivate them that they should do it. They will be given the money at the end. So, Joe Wise, please, it's not possible for you to say that's not corruption. Once the information comes in before the work is done, please, it's influenced the work. That's my point. It's done. You can't go back on it.
Well, I don't know what your interpretation of corruption is. What private gain is there for the individuals who are appearing before the committee? Are they corruption to influence the decisions of the committee? Any individual?
Martin, can we please allow him so that you come in after? Yeah, thank you.
Is it corruption to influence the committee in favor of any individual? I don't see how. Facilitating the work of a committee of parliament. Indeed, let me put it blunt. Many a times when committees have to do work for agencies, parliament has no money, the agency needs a report. The committees insist, why should I drive my own vehicle, use my own fuel to come and do the work of the agency? Either you facilitate or you wait until parliament is able to release money. If this is what you call corruption, then you probably have a misunderstanding of the workings of government. And I'm glad that you've been appointed to a public service. You clearly see how it works. Public service has so much, for those of us sitting outside, we assume that there's money to do everything. Most of the time, apart from salaries, there's no money to do anything. And if people who need the services don't facilitate, nothing happens.
I think the issue, before you come in, the issue, Joe Wise, is the fact that you have a check and balances role. You are supposed to be checking the same arm that you're receiving, if you like, envelopes from. I think that's what is raising the eyebrows here.
Money that ought to have been given to Parliament, which has not come. You know,
but it's
otherwise,
not.
Why should we take salaries from the executive?
Yeah, but it's not as if what is given to you is deducted from the monies that are eventually released to Parliament.
So if you do the balance, you find that actually what is given to members is far less than what ought to have gone to Parliament.
Anyway, Martin, please.
Okay, so now you're right. So I'm referring to section 240 of the the Criminal Offences Act. What it says is that if you accept, for your conduct to be influenced by the money you're going to receive, it's corruption. And let me show you. Joe Wise, yourself, you just said after 3 or so nominees, people lose interest. They are not coming. They lose interest in the work. So it is the money, the promise of that money at the end, that brings them to the table. That is it. I keep telling
your interpretation of criminal law is totally different from my perception and my understanding of criminal law. This interpretation, I wonder who you can convince.
Joe Wise, please, can we allow Martin?
Yes, thank you. That money that keeps them coming to work, please, it's finished. I told you, maybe we don't understand how corruption works. Yes, you see, the fact that it's pervasive and a lot of the time we depend on it to make a living, it's a different argument from whether it is corruption or not. When it comes to whether it is corruption or not, it is. But if you say because of low income levels, times are hard, so we should overlook it, it's a different argument. Don't mix the two. Legally, I told you that often there's a signaling that the money will come, and so then they continue the work. And your wife has admitted it, and that's my point. Because the 240 says once you agree to continue to work so that the money will be given to you at the end, it's still corruption, please.
I'm disappointed in his interpretation of criminal law. I would have looked at criminal law differently. Criminal law speaks to personal responsibility, not group things like this. And we're talking about official request for support. Whether it is you're informed that we have made official reports, so it will come out first day, does not, in my view, facilitate a crime committed or in any way support a crime committed. That's entirely a different interpretation is giving. But I find it strange that the corruption I have known over the years and I have witnessed sometimes has nothing to do with 2,000 cedis per person, committee work. The same agency that ought to have given you money in Parliament, which they haven't, then come, sorry, we know your budget has delayed. We are facilitating the work. You call that corruption. Well, that is your interpretation. But let's get it clear. The corruption Ghanaians talk about is not 2,000 cedis or 1,000 cedis for committee members to do their work. No. He's going into the corporate world. You experience real things that the people in the business he is will be talking about. Doing my work, yes, but I must get paid. However I'm paid, whether through direct from the executive or the executive releasing it to Parliament, either way, it is being paid for the work I'm engaged to do.
Samson,
it is not a gift.
Samson, you've been listening for a while.
Yes, I have quick comments. First of all, commendation to Joe Wise. I've had occasion to disagree with him on some issue, but from the Joe Wise I have observed over the period, I'm ready to say that you need people with such integrity in public life. A while ago, I spoke about his concerns about the caliber of people who find themselves into Parliament. And we must listen to him and admit that in that house, we're getting a lot of things wrong. Now, I'm unable to agree with him that because perhaps the payment is small or that it is requested, it cannot be wrong. Well, in this country, facilitation is one of the terms we use for corruption. It doesn't matter that it is small. Question is, are you entitled to it? You're entitled to an allowance. Yes, he shows us the difficulty. And we know how the system, the bureaucracy sometimes is really bad. That also has to be solved. The Conduct of Public Officers Bill, as engineered by Short Shraj in 2006, has not found favor in different parliaments. You must ask yourself why. If all the public officers, particularly in Parliament, are supposed to be complying with law and making the necessary declarations, I doubt, if we are going to comply with the law, I doubt how many of them will survive in that house.
Well, Martin?
Yeah. My comment?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so as something is said it, let me repeat on this point that so let's continue the education. Let's continue the fight. You see, that's always been my point. You heard something say that the fact that it is 1,000 or 2,000 is of no moment. And that is true. And in actual fact, the money is not 1,000 or 2,000 as Joe Wise seeks to portray. But all in all, we must commend him for being ready to, pay at least half of the stuff that goes on. In actual fact, a lot more goes on than Joe Wise is told us. But at least half a loaf is better than none. So for me, I also commend him. So based upon what he's told us, let's fight even around that. You see how we've shown him that no, his understanding differs from ours. And so we should continue the conversation in that direction. Let all Ghanaians put their shoulders afield. Otherwise, we are making nonsense of hard work. That's the main thing. We are making nonsense of hard work. We all know what just happened and why we sacked the NPP. If we want to continue in that way, we will not make progress. And so let me quickly chip in that we want to remind JM, President John Dramani Mahama, that he promised to deliver the code of conduct for public officers, right? And so we are looking forward to the delivery. I'm mentioning because at least it's been more than how many days now? It's been 3 weeks, right? And so we want to see signs that, oh, maybe the bill is ready, because at least we need public input into the bill before it makes its way into Parliament. So we need to remind them that kindly he should let us know when the bill will come out, and then also the opportunity for us to make inputs and then to make its way into Parliament and be made law, so that the asset declaration law will be what? Strengthened. We want verification and publication of the assets. These are two key non-negotiable provisions.
Right.
That when a public officer declares his assets, the Auditor General will go and verify, and also there will be publication of the assets that he has declared, like we used to do in the PNDC era. If you go to Assembly Press today, you can buy copies of the declarations made by a lot of PNDC appointees. Nobody went to shoot them, like some MPs are saying that if they declare their assets, armed robbers will know their value and then they will be victims of armed robbery.
All right, Martin, thank you. Joyce, I want to give you the last word, but I've also...
just a second, sorry.
Okay.
Martin, remember that our crusade for the conduct of public officers bill is not complete without the reverse bidding regime that we have been asking for.
Yes.
So that
I'm trying
people
who
allegations are made against that they have acquired things improperly, the onus will be on them to prove, because corruption is difficult to find the evidence. So to say the one who has accused should prove, we will not make any headway. And this is what applies in several law countries. We can also apply the reverse bidding. Otherwise, we can't win the fight against corruption.
Right. All right. So, Joyce, a few questions coming for you, and I would want you to address them, and then you can conclude on that. When they receive the money from Chief of Staff, do they each sign for it individually for accountability purposes? And there's a follow-up to that. Do they pay taxes on those monies? As the persons to hold the executive, do they care to know from which budget the monies from Chief of Staff come? And is the work of the Appointments Committee part of the work of MPs, which they are paid salaries? These are a few questions that have come through for you.
Well, first, yes. When the money goes to the clerk of the committee, he prepares a list and what every member is due. Often they indicate the tax element in it, and so a member signs. If he cannot receive it him or herself, he may ask somebody else to sign and receive on his or her behalf. So yes, everything is formal, and I believe strongly that they are audited at the end of the year. Now, as to whether they are part of the work of Parliament, yes, the Parliament is supposed to pay them certain allowances, which often are not paid. There's, of course, parliamentary or budgetary allocation is often not available. So yes, they are all covered. But let me comment on the crusade that the Samsaini and Martin are talking about. I'm hearing for the first time that there's some advocacy for reverse bedding. I haven't heard of that before. I find that very interesting in view of our criminal jurisprudence. That's very interesting. I wonder how, in the face of constitutional provisions, very clear constitutional provisions, any such thing can be done unless we are amending the constitution. That's a very interesting argument to make, and I'll be watching. As I've said now, Mary Teresa, out of time. I'll be watching to hear what kind of argument people make. But let me also say that, listen, in this country, you're giving the work, you're not giving the resources. Honorable Domilobo, I met him when I was head of DVLA, and he came to my office to discuss our challenges. And when I showed him all the things we must go through, he said, now I understand you. We have tied your hands behind your back, and we are asking you to box with people with free hands. That is how the rules, many of the things we talk about are. We expect results without investment. So, yes, the appointments committee work is part of Parliament's work. So is the funding is part of the state's responsibility.
Well, Joe Wise, we thank you this morning. Thank you so much for coming on to answer the questions and clarifying the issues. We appreciate. Thank you, Samson and Martin. Samson, we have a second leg of this conversation, which we will be coming to shortly, but I've got to take a break. So, gentlemen, for now, thank you so much for joining us here on the Super Morning Show.
My pleasure.
All right, it's 11 minutes after 9. We'll come to your messages. We've got lots of messages that we'll be sharing as well. We will return after these.
Auntie T, I beg, fix me go betete Ghana. No gari, no oil, no plantain, just beans then eggs.
Hey, brah, that be dangerous combination, no.
Problem no day. I feel handle am.
For Telecel, with the Bob say everybody gets what they like. That be why Made For Me bundles day. Based on your usage, you fit get your own data and call packages. Fala! Made For Me bundles like the way you want them. That *530# then buy Made For Me bundles today.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Are you hoping to start university this January? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and up to 50% scholarship to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless possibilities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our January 2025 intake. Apply now for our foundation program. For more information, contact us at +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
Do you want to remain productive and competitive in your business? Then I am happy to remind you that Anointed Engineering Services Limited is still here to serve. We provide homes, offices, and institutions with ultra-silent, reliable, and fuel-efficient diesel generating sets with sizes ranging from 5 kVA to 3000 kVA at unbeatable prices. You also enjoy a 5-year warranty. Anointed Engineering is noted for unwavering 24-hour after-sale emergency service, rental and sale of tile lights and genuine spare parts, undertake repair and maintenance of all diesel generators, and buy back used generators. Sign up today at our training school and gain hands-on experience from our team of professionals on generators, plants, auto mechanics, electricals, controls, and solar installations. Anointed Engineering has 18 branches nationwide. Locate our head office in Accra at number 77 Anointed House on the main Odoko Malam Highway near the Odoko traffic light. Call our hotlines on 0302 324723 or 0243 690295. Also on 0243 480334. Anointed Engineering Services Limited, the generator experts.
What makes you smile? Is a time with loved ones, pursuing your passions, or simply enjoying life's little moments? At Pinnacle Life Insurance, we believe that life insurance should do more than just protect your family's financial future. It should also help you live your best life now. Our policies offer comprehensive coverage, living benefits, and rewards to help you make the most of today because we think of wealth differently. At Pinnacle Life Insurance, we provide solutions that give you more for your smile, more time, more freedom, more joy. For more information on our policies, call us on 0501 451 400 or visit www.pinnaclelife.com.gh. Pinnacle Life Insurance, more for your smile.
When I joined the appointments committee, most of the time at the close of our work, the chief of staff will bring money to the members of the committee. It's like facilitating our work. I wonder how anybody could link that to bribery.
It's not bribery? It's not influence peddling?
After the work, how can it be influence peddling that don't give advantage to anybody or gives disadvantage to anybody? So it's a pity how we can stretch facts and give information or explanations or interpretations that have nothing to do with the reading.
It sounds very unfortunate for me to hear from my colleague Joe Wise that chief of staff used to bring them money after their work. Doesn't mean Parliament, the budget of the chief of staff covers Parliament. Are they not allocated their own budget? I think that is not a good practice. If it happened, I think it has to stop. If we know that after doing this work we will be remunerated, it influences the work that we are doing. So there's influence peddling there. If it is true,
I don't think that we have taken it as seriously as one would have expected. Because when you are watching the proceedings, you see how the questions and the responses that come, we are not as diligent as one would have expected, probing the candidate for answers and indeed demonstrating the understanding of the expectations of the office and also bringing out issues about how competent the person is. It's important. The members of parliament have a responsibility to also show the public that indeed we are answering biting questions that will expose or confirm the competencies of the candidates.
Education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. At Heritage Christian University, you are assured of quality education. We offer programs like Bachelor of Business Administration, Community Development and Theology, Theology and Ministry, Psychology, Nursing, Information Technology, Information Security, and Business Information Technology. Professional programs like ICA, CIMG, CIHRM, ABE. We also offer short courses on media and IT. What makes Heritage stand out is our experienced and scholar practitioner faculty, entrepreneurial training with financial support, ultra-modern facilities, and hostels. Qualifications for entry is WASSCE or SSC or GBCE, HND or Diploma Top-Up. Mature 25 years and above. Heritage is located at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. Contact us on 054-777-7731 or 020-229-8399 or www.hcuc.edu.gh. Heritage Christian University, educating compassionate entrepreneur leaders.
Looking to give your special one an electrified Valentine's gift? Electroland is here with Electro Love offers. From top best brands to Hope in Love discounts and freebies, we got you sorted. With $8.99 Ghana cedis, you can blast into your favorite love tunes with Nasco Home Theater. Enjoy a chilled night with our Nasco 1.0 AC at 3,499 Ghana cedis. How about a TCL bedside fridge to cool your favorite champagne at a cool 2,299 Ghana cedis? Surprise the love of your life with a 9 kg Samsung twin-top semi-auto washing machine at 3,999 Ghana cedis. Don't forget to join our Chedia Kesia promo to win amazing weekly and monthly giveaways. Visit our showrooms across Ghana to enjoy. Electroland, home of affordable electronics and appliances.
This Valentine's Day, the stars are lining up to give you that ultimate love experience. Prepare for an evening of total romance as KBKB Music and Image Bureau present the highly anticipated Vitamilk Love Night 2025. 7 p.m. on Friday, February 14 at the Grand Arena. Come, feel the magic of high life as Kwabena sets the tone for his special 20th anniversary. Tickets selling now for only 300 Ghana cedis single or 500 Ghana cedis double at *714*1010# or visit vitamilklovenight.com. Make the night even more special by reserving a table for 2, 4, or more by calling 055-110-3393 to book now. Media partners, Joy 99.7 FM.
Do you want to study abroad? I present to you Astolinks International. They give professional advice on study visas to the USA, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, and other European nations. They also advise on visa applications, general travel, and other immigration services. Call them on 0537 152 118 or visit them at 4A Pawpaw Street in East Legon. For more information, check out astolinks.net. Astolinks, pathway for success.
Give it up for your guardian soul, protecting. Auntie Amma, good morning,
Morning, Auntie Amma. Hey, Philomena, still itching? Now, have you heard?
Yes, Kofi. Have I heard that what?
That Unilever's champion carbolic soap guards your skin against germs that cause most skin diseases and leaves your skin looking natural and healthy.
Hey, really?
Yes, that red soap, champion carbolic soap or guardian soap should be your first and last choice.
Hey, Kofi Guardian, have you also heard that it is now called Lifebuoy Carbolic Soap?
Lifebuoy Carbolic Soap?
J, what is written there?
Lifebuoy Carbolic. Hey, sir,
give us one box.
Have you heard? Champion Carbolic Soap is now Lifebuoy Carbolic Soap. New name, yet same great skin protection against germs. So spread the news. Champion Carbolic Soap is now Lifebuoy Carbolic Soap. Available in a shop near you. This advert is FDA approved.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM. Coffee in your
This is Joy 99.7 FM, and this morning, 8 ministerial nominees will be vetted, including Okujeto Ablakwa. All right, we'll bring you that live right here on Joy 99.7 FM. But first, Ghana Revenue Authority, the GRE, reminds all persons registered for VAT, NHIL, Get Fund Levy, and that's VAT, NHIL, Get Fund Levy, and Communication Service Tax CST returns for December 2024 should be submitted on the VAT, NHIL, Get Fund Levy, and CST returns forms not later than Friday, tomorrow, 31st of January 2025, which is the last working day of the month. File your VAT, NHIL, Get Fund Levy, and CST returns early and avoid payments of penalties. For VAT, NHIL, Get Fund Levy, the penalty is 500 Ghana cedis and a further penalty of 10 Ghana cedis for each day the return is not submitted. For CST operators, late filing returns attract a pecuniary penalty of 2,000 Ghana cedis and a further penalty of 500 Ghana cedis for each day the return is not submitted. Remember to submit the December 2024 returns not later than Friday, 31st January 2025, which is the last working day of the month, and avoid paying penalties. Kindly get in contact with the GRA via email on info@gra.gov.gh or by WhatsApp on this number 055 299 0000 and 020 063 1664. This is by the Commissioner General of the GRA.
That is you, Mama V, and you listening to me. Are you looking for a proper motor insurance? Men slack a cry. Hollad, your favorite insurer, day for you. Just purchase a Hollad motor policy to enjoy amazing benefits like free fuel vouchers, free roadside assistance for breakdown, plus more exclusive gifts when you renew your policy. Find Hollad insurance nationwide through your broker, Hollard to you office, Shelf your stations and Malcolm stores, or buy on WhatsApp with Araba Hollard on 0242 426 412 0242 426 412. Whether comprehensive, executive motor, or third party, Hollard has a policy for you. So, men's like a cry and grab the Hollard motor insurance promo. We've got you covered with quick claims processing and sharp customer service. You can call the toll-free number 0800 444 999. 0800 444 999.
Have you got some books and stationery on your list today? Listen, instead of driving around looking for a store, let me give you an online store which will make it all very convenient. KingdomStoreOnline.com. Remember, you get also quality and affordability at Kingdom Books and Stationery. Just go onto their website, KingdomStoreOnline.com, and shop. They will arrange delivery to your homes and offices within reasonable time as well. They offer free delivery within Accra and Tema, and they also conveniently accept payment via Momo across all networks. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Yes, Mama V, and I've got a message for all the female entrepreneurs out there, agribusiness owners, young entrepreneurs out there. We see all of you. We understand your challenges, all of your stories. Your story, of course, matters, and we're here to support you every step of the way. In partnership with the MasterCard Foundation, APSA is offering SME loans at an unbelievable 10% interest rate per annum. Imagine having access to up to 1 million Ghana cedis completely collateral free. And this isn't just talk. We've already disbursed over 600 million, supporting over 1,600 businesses within the past year. And we are especially proud that 67.3% of our beneficiaries are women-owned enterprises. Your success is our success. If you're ready to write the next chapter of your success story, visit our SME project office, nearest APSA branch, or our website at apsa.com.gh. Your story matters, APSA. Mama V, you mentioned that there was vetting today.
Yes, Kofi Adams, Sports and Recreation.
By the appointment
committee.
Someone sent a message about that, right?
Oh my God.
He says, good morning. It's good you tackled this common but mispronounced word. The stress is on the second syllable. So it's committee. The presenter started, right? Presenter being me, but mistakenly said the emphasis is on the first syllable. Right, I did correct myself though. I think she must have missed that part. That is what many do. Committee. Or on the last level, committee. They say committee or committee.
And it's coming for...
said all of that are wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's on the second syllable, so it's committee. Committee. Thank you. Mama V,
Madam Jifa Glipo.
Yeah. Madam Jifa, thank you very much. We are good students. I'm a good student.
Did you work with Patrick Ayumu?
I didn't,
you
but
did
I
not,
knew
but
about
I
him.
remember I was reading the news, and then he sent me a message and said that, oh yeah, you got this right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people get it wrong.
Yeah, they say committee.
Committee.
It's committee.
Yeah,
committee. That's interesting. It doesn't sound right in the mouth of a Ghanaian. The okro is too much. If you say Ubeti should pronounce this and collect money, he will fail.
Ubeti. He's challenging you.
You should come and say committee.
Wait.
And collect money.
Okay, so
I
he said
dare him.
how much money? Yeah.
Huh?
He's how much money?
I'll give him 100 cedis right now.
Oh, master 100.
So wait, say the right thing and collect money in addition.
I beg.
That one you don't want.
I beg. The team members are not 100.
The teaching that we are teaching him, he has not paid for it. Now he should collect money on top too. You say your money is not enough.
His value is way more than 100.
And you're fair.
Debbie Fabicao.
You should sit down there. I won't add anything.
Here's another one from Eunice, who is in this Lego on Feds.
Yeah, she says, I'm very happy about this parliamentarian payment, aka facilitation, better known as corruption conversation. Is it not fresh? I feel good that we are confronting the elephant in the room. The fact that government is reneging on or delaying its payments doesn't mean our lawmakers should go extorting money for the very work they're paid to do. Kudos Gorgeous and your team, Long Lake Joy FM, and the multimedia family. This is Eunice from East Legon, and this one says, Mamavi, please ask the lawyers what the meaning of facilitation is. How do you facilitate any exercise at the end? Joe Jenfi in Tama.
Okay, I think Joe Wise clarified that. He said allowance. At the God, let's go to X for some messages. At @thegod_kin says Parliament of Ghana is suggesting, with your example and leadership, that we can avoid corruption tag if we ensure that all facilitation payments are made after the work or service and never before, and then emphasis, never before or during, only after. And knew what it says, your MPs disrespect us citizens. Oh, you MPs disrespect us citizens. You sit in there and make weird decisions that affect our livelihood. Adakwesi Amako says, is the appointment committee not paid allowance for the work they do? What is the reason behind the money? He is publicly admitting that the the chief of staff gives them this republic of ours. And the final one, Nana Beidu says, it's influence peddling, Masa. When you're doing the work, when you're doing work with the mindset that somebody is on the way or is coming, would that not influence the work you do? You guys think we're kids, right? Stop infuriating us. Opinion, shaking my head, he says.
SMH.
Yeah, SMH.
SMH. Since we are on the subject of facilitation, did you know that the right pronunciation is also facilitate and not facilitates? Hey, now Becca.
Samuel Dami, this
you come carry me away. The stress is on the C. It's facilitate.
It is beginning to bring
it's
trouble.
Not facilitate. Samuel Dami has been saying facilitate. Disturbing our ears.
So a friend of our show, Mr. Harold Richardson, sent me a message, and he said I should help do something, right?
Yeah.
But he says that I'm not paying facilitation. But listen, are you a graduate from the University Polytechnic College of Education, Nursing and Midwifery College, or you have completed senior high school and you're looking for opportunity? You can study you're looking for opportunities to study abroad. Here are some countries that you can study in: Australia, Canada, UK, US, Ireland, New Zealand, and many more. Now, these countries have an excellent reputation in teaching and research. You can also work part-time to support your studies and get up to 4 years post-study visa when you have completed successfully. Application for January 2025 is still ongoing, even though we're ending January, so it's not too late for you to contact Astolinks to get information about admission, scholarship, as well as how to secure your study visa. Astolinks is located at 4A Popo Street, East Legon. Call them on 0265 341 070 or go to their website astolinks.net, www.astolinks.net, to learn more. Astolinks, pathway for success.
Maybe I'm getting attacked by retired newscasters.
Hey.
Big shouts to Avana Nyamiche. If you want to lead with change with the university built for tomorrow's leaders, then Heritage Christian University is the one. It's set up to provide a missing link in tertiary education through creativity and innovation. Since 2018, the university has given over 450,000 startup grants to a number of its students to start their businesses. There's a huge emphasis on entrepreneurship, technology, and practical learning with professional certification. It's accredited by GTech and located at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. There are graduate and undergraduate programs. You can contact them on 0547 777 731, 0547 777731, or 020 229 8399, or go to their website hcuc.edu.gh for more details. Heritage Christian University, educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders.
All right, we've got more of your messages that we will be sharing via WhatsApp 055-111-1997 on X as well. So keep the conversation going and send those comments. We'll share with the rest of the world. Add the hashtag when you go to XJoy997, add the hashtag JoySMS to it.
Super Morning Show.
Wear a condom for sex and protect yourself from HIV. HIV has no cure, no condom, no sex. This message is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission.
Upgrades are nice, but stepping up is woohoo! Because when you upgrade with GoTV, we'll step you up to the next package. Upgrade today to get more than more with Step Up, where if you're on GoTV Plus and upgrade to GoTV Max, you'll get even more with GoTV Super. Get big value, get big entertainment, get stepped up to even more with GoTV. Upgrade today on the My GoTV app or visit GoTVAfrica.com. Terms and conditions apply. Offer ends 31 March 2025.
The Joy News Impact Makers Awards is here again to honor everyday people making extraordinary impact across Ghana. But we can't do it without you. Yes, you. We need you to tell us whom you think should be the next Joy News Impact Maker. That person could be your neighbor, family member, friend, colleague, or someone you have heard about making significant strides in your community. The Joy News Impact Makers Awards brings your heroes and heroines into the spotlight. You can nominate an impact maker in just a few easy steps. Send an email to impact.makersaward@myjoyonline.com, fill the form, and tell us about your hero or heroine. Entries are open from now to February the 10th, 2025. You can make your hero or heroine a Joy News Impact Maker and appreciate the work they do for your community, be it in health, education, ICT, water and sanitation, agriculture, and many more. Also remember to nominate that person for a special award in climate adaptation innovations and ICT. Joy News Impact Makers Awards, celebrating ordinary people making extraordinary impact.
Looking to give your special one an electrified Valentine's gift? Electroland is here with Electro Love offers. From top best brands to Hope in Love discounts and freebies, we got you sorted. With 8.99 Ghana cedis, you can blast into your favorite love tunes with Nasco Home Theater. Enjoy your chilled night with our Nasco 1.0 AC at 3,499 Ghana cedis. How about a TCL bedside fridge to cool your favorite champagne at a cool 2,299 Ghana cedis? Surprise the love of your life with a 9 kg Samsung twin-top semi-auto washing machine at 3,999 Ghana cedis. Don't forget to join our Chedia Kesia promo to win amazing weekly and monthly giveaways. Visit our showrooms across Ghana to enjoy. Electroland, home of affordable electronics and appliances.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions
and send tweets,
where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
Is talked about giving facilitation fee to journalists. I want to tell our listeners that we have a policy here at the Multimedia Group. We do
are not
take facilitation fee.
We-
So
we-
please,
we
if
don't do-
anybody demands it from you, kindly
We
report
don't do that
it.
over here.
Kindly report
We
them.
don't do that over here. If you're a journalist or if you work with a journalist from the Multimedia Group and they come and demand for facilitation fee, report them.
Yes, sharp. Oh yeah.
Report them. You cannot be doing that. Okay. So Rhoda and Co. If you have been doing it, stop it. Okay.
But listen, have you ever thought about what true convenience means? Well, convenience is finding easy solutions to everyday hassle. So here is one of such. Have you heard about M-Care from MTN and MedFarm? That's convenient healthcare for everyone. Being sick is no fun, and neither is waiting in long queues for health care. But with M-Care, all that hassle disappears. With the silver and gold packages, you get to choose between 10 Ghana cedis or 161 Ghana cedis per month and enjoy access to a doctor anytime, anywhere, and an efficient e-pharmacy with medication delivered to your doorstep. And guess what? It comes with life insurance cover for hospitalization and deaths, and health insurance depending on your package. Well, what's more convenient than this? Download the MedPharma app to sign up to the silver or gold package today.
Mama V, it's like today's Sage Right has touched so many people's nerves. Wow. Charles Fella says, sometimes I laugh at you people and how you say it right. Committee or committee, brother man, you know, go put food on my table. How proficient are most of us, even in our indigenous dialects, to get these things right, let alone the Queen's language? Once my English teacher never failed, and I also passed the external examination, I am fine. Anyway, good education nonetheless. And Malik Bubone, who teaches at AUCC, where I took a communication classes, I bet you got an A in the phonetics class. True, I got an A from Lego and from AUCC. Then they say that when they start teaching phonetics, put your
like
put your thumb
in your mouth.
Yeah, no, put your thumb on your chest. Is it a chest? Just below your neck, right? To determine what is voiced and what is voiceless.
Oh wow.
Voiceless labiodental.
You went through all that.
Oh yes, I can actually teach a phonetics class.
All right, Samuel Adami, you have a new Sage Right producer. You have a new producer for the segments.
Manner of articulation, place of articulation, all that stuff. You know, whether the sound is voice or is voiceless, and whether it's labiodental, or whether it is dental, or whether it's a plosive. Whether it's like all those ones.
That's like as if we know what he's talking about. So I'll give
I
you
do know what I'm talking about.
No, I said us.
You. Okay, sorry. I
want
to tell you.
I'm giving you a student, Wobete.
Wobete, is he one of those students that you must refuse to teach at all costs because it's a pointless endeavor. But let me tell you about this. What a way to kick off 2025. Holiday Inn Airport City is now Palms by Eagles, offering a fresh, delightful experience. The newly improved hotel is ready to welcome you with homage hospitality in the heart of Ghana. Don't miss our Sunday brunch with assorted flavors at a discounted rate of 300 Ghana cedis. Come and experience elevated hospitality like never before at Palms by Eagles. That's what Holiday Inn is called now. Palms by Eagles. Palms by Eagles. We changed the hotel name.
Yeah.
Palms by Eagles. 300 Ghana cedis for just brunch on Sunday. That sounds amazing. Also, we are calling for nominations for our Impact Makers Awards this year, 2025. They may not be our everyday newsmakers, but they are champions in your neighborhood. They touch the very core of humanity, making life meaningful and bringing hope to the hopeless. They're always eager to brighten the corner where they are, even when no one else will take the risk. They are the first to take the initiative and in a quest to change the narrative, even with their personal resources. If you find them worthy of celebration and national recognition, nominate them for the Joy News Impact Makers Awards 2025. The call for nominations is open now through to February 10. You can send your entries to impact.makersawards at myjoyonline.com to recognize your community hero. Joy News Impact Makers, celebrating ordinary people making extraordinary impacts.
All right, we've got more of your messages to share. Joy Shen says what Joe Weiss is saying is corruption garnished with English and diplomacy. And Wayne Ritchie says these are reasons why Oliver would be typing the things he does. Money is given out to committee members from the executive to parliament. This is improper. And Mr. Okwe says the admission, the justification, the insult to our intelligence, it's a country called Ghana. Let me say good morning to you, Kweku Obeng AJ, and my senior Patrick Azemati.
Interesting thoughts. There's a belated chaotic birthday here to Gertrude Amoko Ama, legal practitioner and lecturer at the UPSA Law School. Indeed, the Lord has been good and faithful. All glory be his name on this special day. Cheers and have a blast. And I have another birthday message here, big shouts that I want to
let me say
give out.
Happy birthday to Mary Gifty Boating in the Joy Newsroom. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday to you, girl. Have fun today.
Happy birthday. And also happy birthday to Kingsley Nana Kwame Jamra Ibrakwa, Africa Regional Child Labor Specialist for Food and Agriculture, or for Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. You are all the way in Malawi, and you listen to the show. Yes,
that's
of course.
nice.
So big happy birthday to you as well, Kingsley Nana Kwame Jamra Ibrakwa.
All right, I've got a last one. Happy birthday to Linda Richter Anderson as you celebrate a new year. May God make all things new and perfect concerning you. Have a swell day from your husband Stephen and your kids Aiden and Erin Enid and your entire family. Linda Richter Anderson, happy birthday to you. We've got 5 more minutes to 10. We will be taking you to Parliament for the vetting of some 8 nominees, but at this point we're questioning if all 8 will be vetted because the advertised time was 8 a.m. The Sports and Recreational Minister designates
Kofi Adams
is also tabled.
He's been scheduled. He was supposed to have gone yesterday, actually. It was rescheduled to today. And today there's Okudjota Blakwa.
There's some George.
There's some George. So I don't even know if he will get to his 10. But I don't know how they've arranged them. But either way, I think if he's the second to go, his original time was 11.
Yes, 11. And then after that, so they're dedicated
about
an hour and a half. And then after him, after Kofi Adams would be Samuel Okudjeto Ablakwa, nominated for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But it's almost 10 now, and the 8 a.m. nominee has not appeared.
Yeah.
So
Who
that
is
was
that?
supposed to be 8. Let me check. 8 a.m. Rashid Pelpo, and then Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, the Minister Designate for Environment, Science and Technology, was to follow at 9 a.m. Those 2 have not gone yet, and then Sam George, nominated for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations, that was for 10 a.m.
So you're saying that before Kofi Adams at 11, there was supposed to be Rashid Pelpo, Mutala Mohammed, and Sam George.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But it's 3 minutes to 10. And it hasn't happened, but when it does happen, be sure that we will take you live to Parliament to join in those proceedings.
You know, yesterday the minority leader had an interview on another platform where he spoke about the fact that there were some 2 nominees that the minority had decided, predetermined, that they were not going to approve.
Oh, those who are yet to be...
Yes, the people who are yet to be vetted.
Wow.
And I think there's no money for guessing who those... When he was asked who those 2 were, he didn't say. But there is no money for guessing who those 2 are.
Interesting.
And he said one of them has called him to apologize. We said, but the other one was doing skirmishes and trying to justify everything. Bottom line is
one linked to oral? Well, we're not sure.
Bottom line
we'll
is,
see.
I would just say that for Sam George and Okujota Blakwa, they must print all their tweets and all the news articles and take it with them. Because one Facebook post from Vama Wokrano, how much time did they spend on it?
In Sempism.
Hey!
We have to run though. Fence, it's been fun hanging with you.
Thank you for stringing me along.
Thank you so much for allowing us to serve you breakfast on behalf of the team. My name is Mama Vio Swabwaji.
I'm Fensio Tahiru Fensio.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.